Stayfriends, a religious fantasy, in 5 parts, by Billy McBride. 1 copyright sign. 2020, by William McBride. All rights reserved. 2 Part 1. Outside a first floor unit were 2 kids who talked and played near Billy McBride's. There was a pile of things outside the door of his apartment place upon the floor, and near that door the children played, and then appeared the friendly tenant, Billy M. The child Sebastian to his friend replied, and Jacob was his friend to whom he cried, "Look here, here comes your neighbor up to us." "Hey, Jacob, it's a sight that ever was a neighbor." "Yes, your neighbor, what's his name?" "A man who's interrupting our good game which we were playing here. He's coming home. From someplace like a store he must have come. Look, dear Jacob, he is almost here. His body's getting larger, coming near, and all this stuff around here in a pile. Must be your neighbor's stuff. I think that I'll now talk to him with you to see if he would like to give some things to you and me. Some things from the pile outside his door. There is a lot of stuff here on the floor, and maybe he'll be generous and give us some of it. Therefore, yes, we will strive to ask him if he needs it all, or will the stuff be thrown away into a fill. So here he comes, be ready for a talk. He's here, and back now from his walk. Then Jacob now to Billy McBride began to speak, and thus to him he cried, "Hi neighbor, what's this massy pile of things? What's this our neighbor here around us brings? Outside your door, of stuff. You made a pile. We looked through it when you were gone this while, but we are here. I hope that you don't mind. Some things for us in it we hope to find. What is this stuff which you are throwing out? You must have cleaned a lot in there, no doubt. My friend and I were playing here outside, and noticed by your door the pile was wide and tall. It must be now that time of spring when tenants all around from inside bring out things they do not use or need at all. And here beside your door and near the wall, you gathered up of many things a stack. It looks as if in boxes that we packed you emptied them all out beside the door, and then you brought some others, and some more from those you took out all this stuff around and placed it in this pile upon the ground. Now Angel Ariel in Billy's breast her Billy Mac the angel thus addressed, "Dear Billy, you can do some good for them, and they shall be your friends. My Billy M. Just offer them some gum and tell them what I say, if they need anything from that, for the pile, that they are welcome to it all, and doing so, the kids will therefore call you a good man because they found some stuff which they can use, some things the which thereof you do not need yourself. Therefore the pile of things outside your door will for the while be searched some more by Jacob and his friend, Sebastian, him with whom he plays pretend. You're being kind, then finding what they need they'll call you generous. You have no greed for things beyond the little things in life, those things which help adapt you to its strife. And as you know that life is hard and rough, especially for children growing up, some kids have yet to trust at all someone. Do Billy Mac now offer them some gum?" Then speaking to the neighbor kids outside, Billy Mac B. Navuva replied, "Hi guys, would either of you like some gum? I have some extra packs I purchased from the little store just down this sidewalk here. I went for candy but it was unclear the kind to buy since there were many kinds. But when I saw these types of gum, such finds were bought. This is a special candy too. It's something new to me. Perhaps to you. The chewing gum is funny since its taste does change its flavor soon enough when placed within your mouth. You chew, and it does switch from luscious cherry to a mint taste which does seem to last a while before it fades as if it were as light which dims to shades. I've never heard of chewing gum like that. 5 which changes flavor in your mouth somewhat. So be my guest. I have some extra packs which are unopened in my gum attacks but of the one I opened and did try, I liked both flavors. Have some. Don't be shy." Sebastian thus to Billy McBride. To neighbor Billy Mac, the kid replied, "Okay, we would enjoy some chewing gum. For gum is happiness to master some. For gum is like a pleasing paradise. For gum, as love itself, will go there nice. For gum, for bubble gum, our love commands. The gum, a lovely mouth it understands. For gum, it's fresh and fancy. Paradise bound when gum, the gateway of the mouth, has found. The gum is now possessed upon the street. The gum becomes some useful work to eat. The gum is greater than an oyster's meat. The gum presents a poem which taste buds greet. The gum does reach the people by its taste. The gum's declared the best we shall not waste. The gum does make the final people glad for gum's an older wisdom to a lad. The gum is like a day of problems gone. The gum's a single serving, being one. The gum, its bubble, multiples in space. The gum's the richest prize of any place. Then to the children, Billy McBride, unto his neighbors there he thus replied, you're welcome to whatever you can find. I need to get some trash I left behind. Ah, here it is. Yes, that trophy gold. The soccer trophy found that you now hold. 6 You're free to have that trophy if you please. A trophy is a hero's afteries. A trophy has a glow and hopeful strength. A trophy claims a victory at length. A trophy is a fragmentary piece. A trophy shines upon a face in peace. A trophy comes to patient winning hearts. A trophy's won by playing clever arts. A trophy's light does shine, a golden thing. A trophy dazzles like a golden ring. A trophy's warmth is like the warmth of day. A trophy's like the early dawn sun ray. A trophy is a vision to the eyes. A trophy's presence answers to the skies. A trophy's high desire is that it's won. A trophy's from a living strength of one. Sebastian thus to Billy McBride. To neighbor Billy Mac, the kid replied, I'm thankful that you are so generous. A generosity's enough for us. A generosity's unselfishness. A generosity brings happiness. A generosity's a spacious soul. That generosity's our final goal. A generosity resolves the heart. A generosity is friendship's part. A generosity's a grassy spot. A generosity's our humble lot for generosity eternally. A generosity from you to me is generosity as charity. A generosity comes playfully, yet generosity distracts no child. 7a Generosity's forever mild, and generosity resolves to act. Your generosity is so intact. A generosity's a welcome love. Your generosity itself does prove. Then Billy took his garbage to the can, and on his coming back met a woman. And Angel Ariel to Billy cried, to her own loving husband thus replied, Dear Billy M., now ask your own neighbor if she would like to search your pile there for something perhaps she'd like, since all that stuff is stuff we're throwing out, which was enough. Enough is good to figure out again. Enough cannot last too long by its gain. Enough is timelessly out wandering. Enough brings sometimes struggles with each thing. Enough is whimsically impossible. Enough somewhere to flood is liable. Enough is on its long path to fill. Enough does make a mountain of a hill. Enough's to recognize. It must be done. Enough is greater than a few or one. Enough is what we get of blah blah blah. Enough of that's not breaking any law. Enough of too much thinking is a drain. Enough's a raging flooding storm again. Enough does scatter on the ground from high. Enough is what we get when we are shy. Then, to the lady, Billy McBride unto his friendly neighbor, Billy cried, Hi there, I'm cleaning up. I have some stuff which right now you are welcome to take of 8 if you are interested. I'm Billy Mac. I live around the corner, down that track. A track's upon the outset's open lot. A track infers the way outside if caught. A track is like that giant sun's far off. Its track through heaven all do seem to love. A track is crossed within unhurried days. A track is followed, open to gateways. A track does go out farther as a line. A track is lost in sundown's great decline. Sometimes a track is twisting or at rest. A track's a serpentine roadway at best. A track's on which I'm singly drifting here. A track's laid down for shining eyes who stare. A track can be found to some lovely seas. A track's to softer landscapes, and to trees. A track will terminate in a poor end. Us down a track supremely we shall send. His neighbor so, to Billy McBride, to him, the neighbor lady thus replied, I'm Sylvia, your neighbor, that's for sure. A neighbor is a prized pleasure, and more. A neighbor is just like a simple book. A neighbor is to whom your eyes do look. A neighbor'll be a memory one day. A neighbor has an interesting way. Each neighbor was a stranger once to us. A neighbor is inspired by wholesomeness. We neighbors are a simple kind of folk. One neighbor is with whom you now do talk. This neighbor has environmental peace. A neighbor is a pleasure and an ease. A neighbor's not forgetful her love. 9 This neighbor is a few floors up above. A neighbor lives within the universe. A neighbor dwells for better or for worse. A neighbor is a strong reflection. No, a neighbor fills this empty world below. A neighbor's on our characteristic earth. A neighbor has a healthy loving worth. Then to his neighbor, Billy Mac replied. To Sylvia, his neighbor, Billy cried, So nice to meet you, Sylvia, out here, on this spring day, while weathers have been clear. The spring's a time to stand within its light. The spring's unloose upon the countryside. The spiring's a cycle of the weather's flow. The spring's a blessing after all that snow. The spring has spread across its peaceful plot. The spring does fill an airy landscape's lot. The spring does bring a music to the skies. The spring with light divine has come to rise. The spring's eternal progress to each day. Now spring's reality can't roll away. The spring is here with breezes from the sea. The spring's a sort of daydream of beauty. The spring's own light does multiply its rays. The spring replaces winter's cooler days. The spring does stimulate a vernal change as spring has many flowers to arrange. The spring's own happiness is filling out. This spring's for peaceful days and nights, no doubt. Then Sylvia to Billy McBride. Thus to her friendly neighbor, she replied, my husband lives up there with me, his wife. And there we live, each one a sort of life 10, though life in dirt compounds us in the end, for life in prouder afternoons we mend. Though life collects into that weaker sod, still life perhaps is then redeemed by God. For life is drifting, healing like the wind. For life does bring more splendor to the mind. But life without much beauty has less hope. And life against such sadness we all cope. For life is like the fullness of the sun. For life may be rewarded when we're done. For life's a wise reflection in a park. For life a spirit rises up its spark. For life sometimes feels simpler than that. For life can be a comedy somewhat. For life can hide its meaning overcast. For life is our existence, first to last. Our life, as far we know, is not complete. For life is passion, movement, hands and feet. Next Sylvia and Billy McBride walked to the stack of things he made outside. And at the door, he left her. He went in while she stayed out with both of the children. When Billy was inside, Sebastian did overturn a glue gallon and ran. And then the other two both left as well, thus leaving Billy Mac to clean what fell. Sebastian also left the trophy there. And then Tov as if from out of air, she was unseen. His Tov shalom to Billy Mac replied as she did come. Dear Billy Mac, it's Angel TT here. They knocked the glue over. It's messy, dear. A mess is there to touch up very soon. 11 A mess does play itself now in a ruin. A mess is something fit into a place. A mess does not create a nothingness. A mess does pain the gladness we once had. A mess does stall us and can make us mad. A mess to reconcile is difficult. A mess drops by just like a lightning bolt. A mess can be an ugly sort of thing. A mess, a chaos, it to eyes does bring. A mess remains to clean right there, the glue. That mess exists to clear up, quick, by you. A mess does yield that fruit of messy ones. A mess its stubbornness it now atones. A mess collects itself around this place. That mess becomes victorious. Erase that mess upon this shaded ground 4 feet. The mess is slung around us like a sleet. And Billy so to Tov then replied, unto his angel wife and unseen guide, I'll clean it up, boy, that's a lot of glue. I'll clean, I'm used to struggling, that's true. I'll clean it as a little street or yard. To clean, like sunshine oozing, isn't hard. To clean where grassy tracks do sprout and twist. I'd clean the gloomy rising mess of mist. I'll clean as if relaxing in my bed. I'll clean with ease and grace, not force. Instead, to clean to pass the time, I'll use my head, and clean like oceans flowing nourished. To clean does mingle with tomorrow's dismay. I'll clean and pierce the deepest dark of day. To clean again my will and heart command. To clean from low where highest spaces stand. 12 To clean that ancient ground, my eye survey. I'll clean to end the mess while day cuts by. I'll clean like rain unlocked yet from the skies, which clean before new light shines to our eyes. To clean a day of troubles after night. I'll clean as greening trees do cleanse our sight. To Billy Mac now standing there outside, unto her husband, Angel Hope replied, Dear Billy Mac, that lady Sylvia, she's me. A lady's conscious of her awe. A lady in this pussy willow world. A lady best on earth at poor time hurled. A lady with a face of goodness. Yes, a lady is a glory, do not guess. A lady has a kindness tossed around. A lady is a beauty ever found. A lady's like a distant mountain's peak. A lady's that divine spirit we seek. A lady is the sweetest human being. A lady her authority does bring. A lady plans to see the world improve. A lady is inspired to such through love. A lady is a newness here as day. A lady is refreshing and our way. A lady is a brightened paradise. A lady has a welcome grace and eyes. A lady's like a transcendental star. A lady's a delight when close or far. Tov shalom to Billy McBride. Unto her human husband thus replied, that lady, Sylvia's your angel Hope. She's Hope's self here on earth. And she does cope the best she thinks with people in her life. 13 A prostitute on earth. your angel wife. That Sylvia, like all on earth you'll find, does have her astral self in heaven's clime. That astral self is her own guardian, whom she becomes when she goes to heaven. For heaven is a place indeed for all new heaven's citizens. The angels call, for heaven's fashioned by the angels' kind. For heaven understands a patient mind. For heaven's like the glory of a kiss. For heaven has our astral selves in bliss. For heaven is a breath of fresh good news. For heaven has its gentleness unloose. For heaven is a peaceful neighborhood. For heaven has a goodness, as it should. For heaven is unlocked for everyone. For heaven's better than an earthly fun. For heaven is the perfect grace and ease. For heaven is a beautiful world peace. For heaven is the house of God which works. For heaven's gifts are of eternal perks. For heaven is that meaningful last place. For heaven and its folk have gentle grace. For heaven takes all souls with nice surprise. For heaven is a pleasing paradise. Then to his angel Hope, thus Billy cried. He to his loving unseen wife replied, Dear Hope, I'm shocked that here upon the earth you have an earthly self. For what it's worth. And she is Sylvia, a prostitute. I'm glad to find this out, however. Shoot, it still is nice to meet her even though she has a sadder life down here. We know 14 for sadness travels like an empty sky. For sadness can destroy a feeling high. A sadness has a thirst for emptiness. And sadness is another in bleakness. For sadness droops down like the hanging sun. And sadness stops a never-ending fun. A sadness into nothingness is wrung. A sadness of the dying swan is sung. A sadness has a power harboring as sadness comes at times for a lost thing. A sadness is a sunken ship at sea. A sadness is a needless poverty. And sadness is a flower that is dead. And sadness in the world has been to dread. A sadness leaves us chilly like the breeze. And sadness does bring us obscurities. And sadness grows beyond the shady hills. And sadness is a memory of thrills. Though sadness is unmoved at midnight time, a sadness into happiness can climb. While Billy spoke with Angel Hope outside, his own apartment manager came by. Maria was her name. To him replied, and looking at the mess of glue she cried, What's this? This mess which spilled upon the floor, and all this pile of things outside of your door? A spill relates to things upon the ground. A spill surrounds a surface which it found. A spill presents its presence like the day. That spill upon the flattened floor does lay. A spill does fill in excess like a fear. Your spill must be removed. Yes, that is clear. A spill does to the space around it fill 15. This spill will venture downward on a hill. This spill is heaped across the concrete floor. A spill expresses something emptied or. A spill transports a liquid from a cup. Your spill is mentioned by me to be up. A spill does lead itself to level out. A spill can become dangerous, no doubt. A spill is like a water's fallen flood. Your spill you made to wipe up would be good. Then Billy to Maria so replied. Thus to his unit's manager, he cried, It's just some glue and trash I'm throwing out. I'll clean it up like certainty does doubt. For doubt is what's constructed by a fear. Of doubt we must have patience when it's near. A doubt is like the terror idleness. But doubt is not a rest, nor what we guess. A doubt is like a fiery brightness high. A doubt is like that sunshine in our eye. For doubt we dare to have the strength to scoff that doubt which can be harder to shut off. A doubt is burning over all the world. A doubt is natural when it is unfurled. And doubt is noticed when we are not sure. And doubt would like us never mind its cure. A doubt begs that we answer it with care. A doubt can burden like a grizzly bear. A doubt will go away when it's ignored. To doubt, attentions of our minds have soared. A doubt is holiness silenced sometimes. To doubt again another hour climbs. Maria then to Billy McBride. Thus to her tenant Billy, she replied, 16 okay, yes. Clean it up. That would be good to do that task you know therefore you should. For good's the message of the countryside. For good is life and bliss and goodness tried. For good does sweep in triumph through the earth. For good develops glory, trust and worth. For good's a peaceful kingdom anywhere. For good does not wish to be found elsewhere. For good does thrive again when morning breathes. For good for future ages, our own grieves. For good we care eternally to prize. For good is shining bright or shading eyes. For good does come with our own sweetest trust. For good through spacious night the breezes gust. For good does strengthen in a time of need. And good is better literature we read. For good is as a long time walk of mine. For good directs in better voice divine. For good is as a morning clear of woe. For good does tender landscapes that they grow. Then Billy ran inside back to his room, and pulled off of the wall, where he did come, a cover blanket which concealed some art. The art revealed another sight apart. It was a matrix of elaborate construction paper art designed of late, and coming back up to the pile outside, he cleaned the mess, and Billy McBride did mop it up, and threw the pile away as with that wettened cover, then did say tov tov shalom to Billy M. Her love, it's time to clean your dishes in the bath. For time is public, choosing when to work 17 for time is day and night and dawn that lurk. For time holds silent in each memory, let us time memorize, our schedules free. For time is in a music fitting crowd, for time fits musically to any crowd. For time can heal or harm, the wise folk know, let time its wise knowledge healing show. For time around unloosens to the end, for time is ended when our pains do mend. For time that's free, we shout with happiness, our time is happy when we're freedom's guest. For time does bring a fullness to the world as time fulfills those worldly minutes hurled. For time has knowledge and complexity, for time is complicated knowingly, for time is boring when we feel it's dim. For time, our feelings born are at its brim, for time's imaginings fail not to please, for time brings images of pleasant ease, to her, tov tov shalom, then Billy cried, and to his angel wife, he thus replied, okay, I'll go inside to clean the dishes there, it's time I do that action as a dare. A dare is not to say farewell when late, a dare fares well by sayings which we state, a dare can rise up like the sun entire, a dare arises better than sun fire, a dare is formed by any clever mind, a dare is minded of a formal kind, a dare is day's own freshness in the air, a dare does freshen up our daytime's lair, a dare does take a little struggling, a dare does struggle with its own taking 18, a dare is full of power when it's done, a dare completed fills the pride of one, a dare constructs a tale outrageously, a dare does tell of dares constructively, a dare in time is good, to bring it on, a dare brings out our time upon a lawn, to dare is fine, and higher we will get, for dares of getting better, we are set. A knock upon the door began to sound, then Billy answered it, and so he found his friend, a man called Stephen, there outside. Then Stephen spoke to Billy McBride. Hi, Billy Mac, it's Steve. I hope you're fine since being fine's to celebrate and shine, and being fine does stimulate a laugh, and being fine laughs finding laughs to have, and being fine has everything of worth as being fine is worthy to go forth. And being fine is interesting health, and being fine is healthy in its wealth, and being fine does fan like a soft air as being fine air softness here and there, and being fine does build a bridge to all, and being fine does bridge over a wall, and being fine walls not our welcome sign since being fine does welcome feelings fine, and being fine is great as pleasure is as being fine does please with greater bliss, and being fine's a comfort to the mind, and being fine does mind if it's behind. And being fine is like a passing cloud, of being fine, that's something to be proud. Then to his friend, thus Billy McBride, 19 to Stephen standing outside, he replied, hi, Steve, your painting, I have finished, yes, but you can pay me later if it's best. A painting is a world, a dream, an aim, a painting dreams of worlds which it could claim. A painting is a quest for meanings true. A painting means to be presented new. A painting spreads its light and shade combined. A painting, we those combinations find. A painting is a marked idea profound. A painting is a pathway off the ground. A painting is a nice continuance. A painting of a thing, it must condense. A painting is a country translated. A painting does translate a vision read. A painting is a quiet happy hour. A painting multiplies a sunshine's power. A painting's an extension of the mind. A painting's aim can be one of a kind. A painting fills imaginations well. A painting makes existence bright and still. Next Billy to his friend Stephen. He gave a painting of a planet he did say for Stephen's sake. Then Steve to Billy cried. To Billy Mac, his friend, he thus replied. For $60. So it is the deal? The painting's very nice. I've made a steal. A deal is like a heavenly green fruit. A deal when made is wise as it is sweet. A deal is full of honesty enough. A deal can be eternal help and love. A deal begins to shine upon the heights. A deal might empty nature of her sprites 20. A deal when made secure sublimer trades. A deal does head for peaceful escapades. A deal blows through the sky, its windy ways. A deal it is to gain the sunshine's rays. A deal is like the voice when at the end. A deal is from a kindness, that to lend. A deal is like the breeze's pride which blows. A deal is for wide promises of those. A deal is welcomed when it is on time. A deal shines very much in the sun's climb. A deal is ready at the edge of all. A deal's a voice which lulls the night to fall. To Stephen's askings, Billy McBride. To Stephen's questions, Billy Mac replied, "Yeah, $60. That's the painting's worth. A painting of a planet much like Earth. Our Earth is home unlike all other worlds. Our Earth is honored by the blessed heralds. Our Earth's the place where fades the day when night. Our Earth constructs a hope to come to light. Our Earth has many countrysides of weeds. Our Earth's a wealth of trees planted from seeds. Our Earth does stretch out to horizons far. Our Earth's within the shine of a good star. Our Earth has mountains, waters of great size. Our Earth brings them together with the skies. Our Earth's romantic with its seas and lands. Our Earth does decorate them both with sands. Our Earth grows up and out beyond its flaws. Our Earth has distances and longer shores. Our Earth has people interested in it. Our Earth with heavens high above does fit. Our Earth may be our first experience 21 our Earth. Then after it, we may live hence. Then next spoke Steve to Billy McBride, and to his friend. The friendly man replied, "All right, I'll be in touch. Thank you so much. For much is a day of autumn's fruity touch. For much is like a mountain's taller heap. For much we struggle like a dream to keep. For much there is dominion outside strong. For much is strength to carry dreams along. For much we're compensated later on. For much were breathings of those weathers gone. For much the kingdom of the rains does live. One much a golden rainbow's pot does give. For much has ancient beauty like the sun. For much our toils need holidays when done. For much abundance is forgotten quite. For much is in the science of our light. For much reflects on earth the air's own heights. For much of freedom's ease a speaker fights. For much is involved in sacred summer days. For much does answer questions with a gaze. For much each question after question comes. For much our final thoughts would find their homes. Then Billy Mac to Stephen thus replied. To Stephen, Billy's high school friend, he cried, "Goodbye, Stephen, and thanks for buying it. I'm glad my painting in your home will fit. A home is like a fortress in the clouds. A home is what the landscape sweetly shrouds. A home is on a strange and hearty land. A home is of the rooms we understand. A home is in our ever-greening world. A home is over where the sun is hurled 22. A home at night does spread its chosen light. When home, that sun does dim its fallen bright. A home is shelter for a happiness. A home restores a normal weariness. A home is warm when winter brings its chill. A home brings us a better warmth, or will. A home's a place to read a lot of books. To home is where a cleaning person looks. A home's a spot for families or one. A home gives us some clues for our own fun. A home's a dwelling best for us, and art. A home's the whole reality, or part. So Stephen left, and as he left a man named Tony showed, and spoke to Billy M. "Hey, man, what's up? I see you're home today. As I am out, I'm here stopped by your way. A way, your door you cross from out to in. A way which can be thick or may be thin. A way which going back and forth is crossed. A way over whereon a body's tossed. A way by us or none. A public street. A way when going home is traveled sweet. A way when going out does help us there. A way's as if an opening of air. A way does make itself a presence known. A way is what the clouds go on when blown. A way does aid in our successful tasks. A way sometimes a weedy landscape masks. A way from here to there. A road or walk. A way is also how we express talk. A way does keep us hoping that we can. A way unblocks a woman or a man. A ways from you to me or me to you 23. A ways from anywhere. From false to true. Then Billy Mac to Tony thus replied. To neighbor Tony standing there outside. "Hi Tony, how are you? Are you alright?" That man was Steve, my friend who left our sight. A friend is there on whom all folk can count. A friend's for many people of amount. A friend will last a while if nourished. A friend responsible is not to shed. A friend can be for you when you are sick. A friend will be there through the thin and thick. A friend has plenty friendliness to give. A friend for generosity does strive. A friend repeats the love which we all know. A friend considers others down below. A friend does help the poorer to improve. A friend does that with money and with love. A friend can say to you what's good to hear. A friend extends a helping hand and ear. A friend can be just ordinary now. A friend's companionship will surely show. A friend can tolerate it when you err. A friend to other people won't compare. Then Tony looked suspiciously around in Billy's place, and finding what he found. Thus Tony saw his art and thus replied unto his neighbor Billy McBride. So this is art you say up in your hall? You need to take some art off of the wall to make it less busy. How can at all then you attract a woman? One to call. For busyness in rooms is awful stuff. For busyness does make a place look rough. 24 For busyness is poison to the eye. A busyness is not in a clear sky. For busyness looks stupid like a mess. For busyness makes seem that you did guess. For busyness does not hit on the mark. For busyness is worser than when stark. For busyness is bad. Yes, take my word. For busyness is not laid back. For sure. For busyness cannot attract women. For busyness is here. Billy M. For busyness, your room is overdone. For busyness looks like you lost someone. For busyness is ugly and a bore. For busyness compounds them more and more. Then to his neighbor, Tony, they're outside. To Tony, Billy McBride replied, it may be so. It may be so. I can't attract a woman like you speak and rant. Attraction is a funny kind of thing. Attraction's like a bell as it must ring. Attraction cannot happen when there's strife. Attraction is the law and rule of life. Attraction normally is something good. Attraction happens naturally. It should. Attraction is a power and a charm. Attraction's best when it does not do harm. Attraction is from anybody's heart. Attraction sometimes is not yet for art. Attraction on a wall must not depend. Attraction can be love, if we so tend. Attraction does not hinder some at all. Attraction is so silly of a wall. Attraction is for people or for things. 25 Attraction, one and one together brings. Attraction is made possible by fun. Attraction sometimes dissipates when done. Then Tony looked away and saw a car pull up into the parking lot not far away, and then to Billy McBride, his neighbor, Tony, thus to Billy cried, well, gotta go. The wife's brought home some food, some pepperoni pizza as she should. Some pizza is the stuff we like to eat. That stuff is part of pepperoni meat. To like to eat is something which is nice. It doesn't matter, bread or fruit or rice. I do believe the wife is back with it, and to our supper table we will sit and feast upon the pizza. That's a fact. A pepperoni pizza that's intact. So Billy, I'll be getting off. Okay, I gotta run. See you again someday. I must be off. The wife is back indeed. It is important now that I must feed. I know it's also getting late. I'm gone. This afternoon is almost night. The sun is almost down. And still please keep in mind that having busy wall space is not fine if you want to attract a woman here. It would be better without art and clear. Then unto Tony, Billy McBride. To that rushed neighbor, Billy thus replied, bye, Tony. Yes, I hope you find it good. If it were me, I'd thank her as I should for bringing me the pizza to the home. For being sweet back with that food to come. 26 So I shall see you later. Bye. Farewell. I understand you're hungry. I can tell. That food does sound a little bit tasty, and so I know why you must leave hasty. I think that I shall make a meal myself. However, all my art there on the shelf and on the wall, that art must stay right there as art is useful. Sometimes it's a dare. Just that because it's messy and unstraight does not mean that no purpose serves its state. For of that art upon the shelf and wall, and of those paper sculptures there and all, it all makes sense to me that it should stay. But you are hungry. Off you go today. So long, Tony. We'll meet again. Adieu. Bye. So long. I shall be seeing you. Thus Tony left, and then Tov Shalom. The angel within Billy spoke to him. Dear Billy, Tony is her pimp. That man does run a prostitution ring. His plan involves those cars which come and go non-stop, for those are Johns of Sylvia, whose hope, yes, she, her astral self, is hope with us, your angels whom you married, who are just, and Sylvia, that prostitute on earth does need to separate from him, go forth, and get away from him who pimps her bad, and he's this guy around now. Yes, it's sad for you met Sylvia, and she is good, and heaven is a place for all. It should be so and is. For Sylvia and Tony, yes, and every living being, and you can guess it otherwise, but who's the angel here? 27 There's only heaven after life. no fear. Yet here on Earth with them, they play a game. And mostly it is Tony who's to blame for hooking her on drugs and pimping her, for calling all those men into their lure, for getting money from them for more drugs, and other things I dare not tell you of. Then to his angels, Billy McBride, unto his loving angels, Billy cried, I want to help. I want to help a lot. I've always wondered if I could or not, since, when one can help more than just a bit, why not? The more the better, to do it. But how? I just don't know. I need advice to be a good neighbor as well, and nice. I'd think that now I know. I wish to try and help that lady, Sylvia, to fly away from Tony, who does call those men because he pimps her often with them, then he hooks her on those drugs so she won't leave. But what do? I don't wish to grieve for lost chances to do some acts of good, to do my best for a good neighborhood, to help out Sylvia that she may live. She does deserve a better life to have. I want to be a part of that solving to help prevent those men from revolving because her pimp, that Tony, calls them there for them to have their way since they don't care. Tov shalom to Billy McBride then spoke to him, her husband, and replied, for now, you must so wait. I know it's hard to wait, but later we will give the word 28. It's bad when people do not give a thought to more than just themselves, but they all ought to be considerate of cruelties like prostitution, doing what they please on other people, taking then no care of their own hope, of others' own despair. We blame Tony for that, as well those men, those whom he calls to get their money then for Sylvia's own body. She is hope, though Sylvia's on earth where she does cope with being earthly. Angel Hope is not, for Angel Hope's in heaven as she ought to be, the astral self of Sylvia whom Sylvia becomes. She'll be a, yes, better Angel Hope, whom Hope is now, the Hope you married, Billy. Here below, when Angel Hope did woo you day and night and loved you from within with guiding light, then Billy Mac unto his angels cried, to Tov and the others, he replied, of late, I've found that the construction men who work on all the siding now and then have ways they bang upon the unit's walls. They are ways they signal others in their calls to take their turns with Sylvia in bed. It's a communication which I dread is secret for the rest of us around who here inhabit this apartment ground. And Tony made it so that way that they can come, as he does set up Sylvia to be their prostitute, and one by one the men enter by turns until they are done with her as Tony uses her for cash. 29. And she within those walls is his own stash to make a profit with those men banging upon the walls, the workers all clanging in signals. I can tell, it all is clear that Sylvia is trapped with them. Oh dear, but Tony doesn't know I know these things, nor do the other workers making bangs. Tov shalom to Billy McBride was roused to speak and thus to him replied, that's just what they are doing with those sounds. Those men collude with Tony on these grounds to prostitute his artificial wife. Sylvia is trapped there for her life, and she is there with men both night and day, and it is bad for she can't get away. He also prostitutes not only her, it is a prostitution ring, for sure. And what that clanging's called now of those types is banging on the universe's pipes. But now I want you to relax your mind, and try a little less to be behind the next time something like this does occur. You must be more alert, that is for sure. For now you know, but it would still be good to play upon the keyboard as you would. Go play on the piano some music to help to make you feel a bit less sick of what they are doing. You will be alright. Just wait again for us to shed some light. Then to his angel wife, Tov shalom. So Billy spoke because he felt welcome. Okay, dear wife, I'll play the keyboard now, and try and clear my mind of all somehow 30 I love to play, to improvise, to sing. For happiness my music shall now bring. It's interesting all that's going on in music as I make up a new song. It's like there is a map, and I have learned those roads in music, and by playing earned my freedom traveling its different paths. Sometimes the music weeps, sometimes it laughs. And I would state I know what I do not, but I do know, and play just as I ought, since playing on the keyboard's more than fun. It is as if I'm comforting someone besides myself, besides my family. An audience becomes imagined. See? And for those people listening, them all, I play piano like I'm playing ball, by which I mean, I try my best to play, and say in music things I'd like to say. So Billy played some music by his ear and all his loving angels then did cheer. Tov shalom to Billy McBride, unto her loving human husband cried, it's awesome Billy Mac to play that way. You do it without trying hard to play. In it there was a store of melodies. You pulled it off just now. It was a breeze. For you to play piano and have fun, and entertain your angels, everyone. It also sets the mood for some romance, and as you played we all of us did dance. It's something which you've got to see one day when you're in heaven in charades to stay. That heaven of charades. 1 of 14. 31 as you already know is where we've been who'll wait for you. Though here you channel us through our own way by syllable and pulse. We know you love the music and its art. To play that way. For us to take our part in guiding you to play your very best. Those energies we have are put to test. But in the end we are your company. Companions. Guides gently and musically. Then Angel Hope to Billy McBride. Unto her loving Billy, she replied, that music really is a good music for which you focus well on every lick. The way you play is like you know your stuff. You do it in a way which shows your love. We know you like invention. Yes, the most. And to create these memories to boast of which you think are new because they are. It's like you have discovered a new star when you do play and give us something new. We love you Billy Mac. But this you knew. And music does relieve you from bad things which also you discovered. These new rings of prostitution here around your place which neither we nor you do wish to see. Perhaps you think that you can't do your best to help some people better on their test in life. Perhaps you think that you don't count. That since you're shy you have not much amount. But you will see. The things we have set out for you and others. Give us not a doubt. Then Billy Mac relaxed and now he prayed unto his God. Hashem. This prayer he said. 32 Dear God, Hashem, thank you for people then, of what they do that's good, thank you again, of things contributing for love and life, and thank you that these things can battle strife, thank you for love, for pleasures yet to be, thank you for people's interests who see that then by following them they'll find hope in our poor world where we must live and cope, thank you for helping me to learn some stuff, that people's interests never get enough. They keep on doing things to help our time pass on with better moments here to chime away. Thank you for helping me to play to add my interests by my only way that I know how to share my music true. That I can now participate with you and angels whom I love, who help me out. Thanks for my own piano thereabout, and letting me to add my music then to other music in the world. Amen. Just then there was a knocking at the door, and Angel Hope to Billy cried out more. Dear Billy, answer it. It'll be okay. There's someone out there, out in the hallway. You need to get it. Please don't worry now. You need to get the door. And yes, I know that you were just now finishing your prayer, but out there in the hallway, in its air, is not a bad person. Although you think that some around you've angered to their brink because you've noticed what they do of late, but they would hardly care upon this date to mess with you. Be Naviva McBride 33 do get the door, and see who calls outside. You're safe, we say, to answer now the door, and please don't hesitate, don't wait here more. Yes, get your butt up, get the door, there see outside just who it is they're knocking. We do understand you've made your prayer and then you feel like talking to us, Billy M. But first please get the door and then see who is out there knocking, calling upon you. Then Billy's next door neighbor named Reuben was seen outside and spoke to Billy M. Hello, I hope that I am not a pest, but do you have an egg as I have guessed you might? To guess is what I have done now. To guess does bring a hope maybe to know. To guess does act upon a distant goal. To guess into a further lane does roll. To guess is boundless in creativity. That creativity of guessing's free. And if there's freedom, it is in the guess, though some will say that guessing is a mess. Then freedom is a mess, a chaos too. That to be free, if only guessing knew if what it guessed upon was right at all. If freedom is a goal we must install. If guessing's more than knowing things to be, because when guessing so the guesser's free. Then if we value freedom here on earth, we better guess as much as it is worth. And throw our weight on our convictions true. For guessing's sake, for freedom's chaos too. Then to his neighbor Reuben there outside, with friendliness spoke Billy McBride. 34 Hi, neighbor, I must say that with regret I do not have an egg. I did not get some eggs when last I visited the store. I'd gladly give you one if I had more. For giving is a beautiful good plan. And giving is a human thing, we can as plans of goodness humanize our crew. As giving is a human goodness too. To do a plan with goodness and be glad that we help others needing stuff to add to their own lives to help them live works out in short term and the longer terms, no doubt. A plan for giving things unselfishly, as giving time, brings goodness thankfully. Without such goodness, love would cease to be, if we could not help plan our charity, and giving money, giving love both set our chances for a better world to get. Yet, I am sorry, for the thing you call I cannot give, I have no eggs at all. Then Reuben left, and Tov Tov thus replied, Tov Tov shalom to Billy McBride, he likes your playing on the piano, and you can trust me Billy, yes, we know. Kiss me, thank you, the best is yet to come, a final understanding of your better home, to sleep don't go, though quietly you can believe me telling you he's a good man. High thoughts like death and life are sometimes off, to think only of them and prized love do bring not always peace into your mind. With every generation you will find that men and women think them to the end. 35 But newer models of ideas do tend to be constructive more today. You'll see that doing things newly does make us free to know just what to do, yet finally we'll start a situation helpfully. I know this day is normal, yet think twice. Perhaps it could so turn to paradise if you the rungs ascended spiritually, and got to visit heaven certainly, then to his angels. Billy McBride, unto those loving beings, he thus replied, I can't yet feast my hazy eyes on you, dear awesome angels. Puffy wings and you have, I'd be okay with seeing them, and, yes, collects into the air your hymn, which I would love to take apart with each whenever I to heaven, you to teach, my place with you, forbidden, now it is, yet kissing you is nice, it is my bliss, so also meeting one of you on earth, that Sylvia, whose hope for what it's worth does lately to inspire a song to ring out of my heart a music I shall bring from it, and therefore sing my very best. Alice, I'm ever taking such a test with my own total vocals, but for her, I'll do my best to sing the song better than then. The last time having it to sound the music to your higher better ground, I'll make a haste to let it now be sung. This hymn's for Sylvia in silver tongue. 36 Part 2 Billy sings a song from the Two Gentlemen of Verona. Who is Sylvia, what is she, that all our swains commend her? Holy, fair, and wise is she, the heaven such grace did lend her, that she might admired be. Is she kind as she is fair? For beauty lives with kindness. Love doth to her eyes repair, to help him of his blindness, and, being helped, inhabits there. Then to Sylvia let us sing, that Sylvia is excelling, she excels each mortal thing upon the dull earth dwelling, to her let us garlands bring. Shakespeare. So Billy sang then Who is Sylvia, a song by Shakespeare, a Benaviva as well, and so the heap of angels clapped. Tov Tov Shalom spoke to her Billy Mac, high arts believed, yes take my word for it, take all the music of your benefit and have the power singing, things will change, it is a gorgeous song to rearrange. 37 Why now, into our time and purpose true for so to settle it, to keep it, you now understand more meanings in its words. Love songs are darling, yes, as all love birds, why, yes, say unto us you're scared to sing, we can't believe you after all you bring into the world such music both for us and anybody else, it's tougher, yes, but know how all of us, how we all do, yet, that your neighbors one floor above you do not like you, but settle down, they will one day, and it will be great, yet until they do, for now be settled on this fact that you make possible a greater act of digging up some songs with how you read from Shakespeare as this one you know indeed. Next Sylvia and Tony both unseen did come as angel selves to Billy M. And Sylvia began to speak, she woke to Billy McBride, and this she spoke, nice singing with a power, Billy M. I'm Sylvia, I met you and so came. And believe me to meet me it was good as we both met outside as so we should by nature just have met. I'm now right here unseen by you, but let me make it clear, I am your angel hope above, yet now, I'm Sylvia as well on earth somehow, but as her angel astral self, I've come to watch a bit of you within your room, and Tony too is here, his astral being, the both of us did listen to you sing. But anyways, I have with him some time 38 to be right now with you this way to chime what happens now. Benaviva, it's good, we're here to see you do some things you should. I know that you do wish to help me out on earth escape my prostitution bout where I and Tony as my pimp do ill, but yet our angel selves do good, and will. Then Tony's astral angel self replied to Billy Mac, thus unseen Tony cried, yes, Billy, you sound pretty good I say, I'll take a song by Shakespeare any day, take part myself I shall when one to try comes to my heart to eat of it, and, sigh, this was a good one too, however chaste by singing chaste, with goodness to have haste unto those settled meanings lived by you, from which do spring experiences true, that you, my friend, can say to have been on that top of size within for your own song. No, I believe with my own angel's heart in all the power of Shakespeare's best art. I love that music Shakespeare does bring forth. He was a miracle upon the earth. To praise invention. Yes, I will do that, as Shakespeare was the best at you know what. It's obvious that his should deserve all the praise which we can give in its total. So that we love, however simple, him, as you did now performing. Billy M. Then to his angels present, Billy cried, to Tov Tov and the others, he replied, they say that terrors are the angels high, but I have found the opposite. For I 39 dear Tov, I love you, many of us do. Your element is in the air which through electrically you move my pulses now. I find that's not a terror of my brow. High functioning thou art, but who is that who just was speaking to me now, Harriet? Fine fellow he was to reflect those views on Shakespeare whom we think the greatest news. Find out for me. I wonder who it is to whom I can respond. Why, who is this? Another angel. True, but still unseen. By now you'd think I'd have it straight and clean. My memory of angels past and new who find me in my settled thoughts. He's who I've been considering too, what was said about a visit heavenly to tread my feet about. Yet tell me more good things like of your not so earthly tramplings. Tov Tov Shalom to Billy McBride unto her human husband thus replied. Dear Billy, now you hear new angels here. That man with Sylvia is Tony, dear. It's Tony's astral self. His angel being who said to you he likes the way you sing. As well as Sylvia, who is our hope. Our angel Hope who lately helps her cope. Now Tony back on earth is doing ill by prostituting Sylvia. They fill us with regret and powerful dismay since there's injustice in that earthly play. But Angel Tony, not his earthly soul, and Angel Sylvia both have a good goal. They wish to be here now with you a bit, 40 and talk a little to you about it. However, bad they are on earth they still, when reaching heaven then will do no ill as you become your astral beings. And, yes, you know a little what that brings. So before you they came unseen right now to speak to you invisibly somehow. Then Angel Tony spoke to Billy M. Unto his human neighbor. This for him. Yes, we are here and we the two of us will be a help to you. A major plus. Now understand that I'm not bad up here. His simple thirst for doing bad. I fear that Earth Tony, a pimp. Your neighbor too across that pathway still does upset you. He'll get much better one day. That's a fact. I know. He becomes me. My soul intact. Has any power he to get better? The answer's yes. And yes. The same with her. Who's Sylvia? One of his prostitutes. Of what I'm telling you. These are the truths. Kind Billy M. Perfect a timely way to go before and chime beyond this day. By now you can find pleasure knowing this. That both of them will one day change. That is, I am his angel. Sylvia your own dear angel Hope. She is. So don't feel down that you can't help. You can. By now you know that with our promise, you'll help. This is so. And speaking thus to Billy McBride, to Billy, Angel Sylvia replied, that was my earth self outside whom you met. Dear Billy, things for me are bad there yet. 41 but here in heaven, I am great, for sure. There is no prostitution nor its lure. Life for me has been tougher yet down there when selling my own body. It's unfair, as Tony, not his angel, but the man has hooked me onto drugs which I demand. He keeps me in a room all day and night. I hardly get to see the good sunlight. And men do come to him and then to me as well as other hookers there. And we are all not really happy doing bad. But if we try to leave him, Tony's mad. But better yet we'll get one day. It's true. For now his angel, Tony's, mine and you are talking now. We wish to learn about the things which you are doing here. No doubt. There is a special way about you still to have your own dear angels, Mr. Bill. Then to those angels, Billy McBride, unto those loving angels, thus he cried, that's good to know, while I have done my things within a day, which many hobbies brings, I can and trot around within the room creating sculptures with my crew, or broom. I like to clean, make art, to read, to write, to talk with all my angels is delight. I wrangle here, my hands do get ahead, okay, I'd rather read a poem instead than anything beyond, before, between. I try to read my best and make it clean, though I play music, piano and keys upon my synthesizer here. One sees it seems to be what I do best because 42 the music follows what each finger does. I mobilize what energies I find and lean to charity. Yes, to be kind. These are some things I do here at my place. Of course my whims I also like to chase. So that is what I do. But lately I find cleaning up a thrill. I know not why. Tov shalom to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband. Thus replied, Dear Billy M. Both angels, her and him, both Sylvia and Tony in a whim. You may consider them your students here. They're now your students. Both of them are dear. That's pretty neat to know them. Don't you think to have them here as water to the brink of a tall glass? They've come. You know they're good as angels always like that as they should. So show them more. They will pretend to learn. Though angels know it all, still you can earn experience by teaching them of you, and things you do with other angels too, like us. Still Angel Hope as Sylvia. You're married to her, my dear Benaviva, but play along, and you shall transcend thought to think of others learning as they ought, to help them learn as willing as they are. It is such that you're like a shiny star, an all-star, someone very kind preparing others whom you keep in mind. Then to Tov Shalom, her Billy cried, unto his angel wife. He thus replied, The soul has all the majesty, that's neat, the parcel of its labors down the street. 43 And I'm to come and make it nourished. I know the fury of a thing that's said. Something is for later. They must know the soul has land within a book to show. A boundless wisdom would be fought for there, which can enable beauty. Book my care. The life is all the test. We wrote a book, and goodness lives again. For goodness, look. A home and place are dark. The writing's bright, and I would make it last for angels' sight. New flowers bloom. New writings come. How does the daylight seem to me at home? The water has been bridged, we write, and they, our Sylvia and Tony, angels stay. So they are now my students. I shall teach those angels who are thus pretending each. That is a neat thing that they stay to learn of my own doings, writings. Love to earn. Tov shalom to Billy McBride, unto her human husband. Thus replied, Yes, Billy Mac, they absolutely know about our book and writing method now. They like our art as well, and what it does. Their angels' minds illuminate because you're teaching them the opposites. About. We balance hot and cold both in and out of our own artworks, and by doing so we strike a balance visually to show how putting opposites of hot and cold together make an artwork's balance bold. We find some things which look a little cool unto our eyes. This method is our tool, which then we use to add them to a pile 44 of hotter looking objects all the while. It balances a composition's heat with coolness in a strong creative, featuring both Sylvia and Tony really love to watch you do that. It's a way you prove to them that opposites, when put just right together, make for visual delight. Then to Tov Shalom. Thus Billy cried, unto his angel wife. He thus replied, Yes, this right here you mean, a sorting art. For balance with a couple things to start. I take an object, like this apple here, a green one. It looks cool. It does appear with coolness in its tone, though green can be both hot or cold depending how we see. Yet, this one apple is a cooler one. So now I know, I'll look around for fun, and find something which feels unto my eyes like something gently warmer like the skies. Aha, a book. This one right here will do. It has a warmth that oozes from it too. So on the book I'll find the perfect spot to place the apple I found, which I've got. I'll put the apple just like this on top, and leave it on the book, and now I'll stop. And look, what do I see? It's perfect there. It's like a burst of cool mixed with warm air. The composition makes that perfect blend. So that's a good example which I'll lend. Tov shalom to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband. Thus replied, Yes, just like that. You're doing great to show the newer angels, your new students, how 45 you make an artwork. Also that's the way in which you write, by blending what you say of opposites with their own counterparts. You see that value, yes, across the arts. So as you write as well you like to blend, and doing so you might begin or end with objects, images which contradict but not your argument, which you predict will strengthen in your pages with both sides of which you represent. Like sorts of tides of ebb and flow, both sides are there to view as juxtaposed together. Both the two as writing you have taken it to art to get a better range for you to start to get beyond the page and into life with your own useful method of that strife, which is not strife always a strife that's bad but good. You one another's difference add. Then Angel Sylvia to Billy McBride, unto her human neighbor, thus replied, We want to see much more, dear Billy M. How you combine both hot and cold again to make your good arrangements in your room. These setups do make interesting your home. When you were rearranging objects there, both I and Tony think you're making clear a sort of vision which can be of use. Yes, you shall see. Your room is what you choose to play with like you did when you were young with toys, but now you're old. A higher rung is what you're on, and more mature. Your way for using art, by interesting display, to get a bigger picture here around 46 where earth meets heaven on a higher ground. Yes, this is an unusually good play where knowing how things feel and how they may be bettered when paired with their opposites. The room is slowly of improving bits which you're preparing is a featuring of good because you care for playing as you should. Then Tony unto Billy McBride, to Billy Mac. The angel thus replied, yes, what about that pile I see right there? I want you, Billy Mac, to take my dare and mess around with it until it's right, to bring together warm and cool delight. The apple on the book is on my mind, and other rearrangements of that kind, which both present a feeling for a look of balance and as well of beauty took to new extremes because it goes beyond the words upon a page for which we're fond. To make your room a great experiment it balances, a careful monument. A temple therefore could arise from that, a sort of presentation yet somewhat of things with other things, including all, a sort of catalogue that we could fall into its pages like a reference book. Around your place we only have to look for clues for which a narrative will rise as things get bigger in their meaning size. Then unto Tony's angel, Billy cried, to angel neighbor Tony, he replied, okay, this pile right here, I'll go for it to move some things around again a bit 47 resulting in a hot and cold like blend, resulting in a means unto an end of my imagination put to work. I see that in this pile, the wrappers lurk. These wrappers are of gum and they look hot, so I will put them onto something not, my emptied out TV, within its case, for gum wrappers to rest is just the place. And so now there's a combination true of hot and cold, of black and warmer blue. That's how to change the room around, a way which blends the temperatures as night to day from cool to hot, but both of them at once. Without such conscious work I'd be a dunce to all the possibilities inside my room which to my vision I have tried, and been successful changing things around. This method's from Mattis, which I have found. Next angel Sylvia to Billy cried, unto her human neighbor, she replied, that is just right. You really know your stuff to put within the pile that wrapper puff into the emptied television screen. The wrapper of the gum, there to be seen. You say Mattis's art showed you the way to blend a hot and cold so to display both temperatures at once. It's a nice thing which changes nothing to an everything by which I mean, it wasn't there before. The new perspective, now revealed. And more does happen like that when you rearrange these things into their temperatures to change their visual elements opposing them 48 nice work. We love to watch you, Billy M. So now we see that much of your own room is set up for this method in your home. You have the time to teach us students yet, and from it all, a knowledge we will get for what we can pursue in our own place where we abide, that hope therefore to chase. Then Tony unto Billy McBride, that angel to his neighbor, thus replied, that's awesome, Billy. Yes, the blending art of hot and cold objects will help us start to sort the special place out. Yes indeed. By doing so we all can better read the narrative of props within your room which has to do with every other home as well as yours. There's new thought taking place. Its former look is gone without a trace because you are so organizing there within the comfort zone but as a dare to challenge what it means for beauty's sake, by which I mean these liberties you take to turn your home around in this new way to read its combinations on display as if it were a book of hot and cold where everything is sorted out and bold interpretation. That's the way which God once sorted out the night from day, the land from water, chaos from its air as God began his own creation's dare. Tov shalom to Billy McBride, unto her human husband, thus replied, dear Billy M., your students, both of them, both angels, Tony, Sylvia have come 49 as well to see what we have done with MOAT, our project which we keep of late afloat. They want to know about that project best, which is a spiritual cure and fitting test upon those folk, which MOAT will one day prove a better sort of project from a love of people getting better with their health, as MOAT has greater good than any wealth as far as well all know. It combines art with charity, a public thing to start. It must be secular, so tell them why we work on it from time to time, building that better monumental conceiving. Outrageousness in Texas is the plan, for which we mean some good clean fun in town. A fun which has a charitable goal. A public art to see the bigger whole. Unto his angels Billy McBride did speak about this MOAT project and cried, "Well then, these angel students know about what things we wish to do when MOAT comes out. To build an art, the monuments around the lands of Texas on outrageous ground. To build the monuments from steel I-beams, arranging them upon the land. It seems it would create a great event in art then to attract a tourism in part. We shall create events on Texan land, and open it to everyone. We planned it long ago, that proceeds from the sales of tourism, and do that thus entails a means. A way for helping victims out with schizophrenias or cancers bout 50 or with their AIDS or rape victims who need to be more comforted with love indeed. By raising funds and love, those charities can help better their troubled lives, gain ease to strengthen up and find a way to cope while knowing people wish to send them hope. Tov Tov Shalom to Billy McBride, unto her human husband, thus replied, Dear Billy, yes, you worked upon the plan for a MOAT budget which you understand. You did that number crunching. It went right for a MOAT possibility last night. Last night you made the future budget work so that the project MOAT around may lurk on Texan lands one day for charity as well as artful tourism. And we now have our future plan. How much the cost? Into the future it will so be tossed. The MOAT project, a monumental time to help some people out from depths to climb to have a better hope in ways to heal. And all of MOAT is made of I-beam steel, which now you know the costs and what it takes to start the project, and the very stakes of which we're up against. The funds to raise to build those monuments within our days to set things up for a non-profit group transparent which will keep all in the loop. Then Billy Mac to Angel Tov Tov cried, unto his unseen angel wife, replied, Tov Tov Shalom, the angel of my heart, is what you're saying that our MOAT can start to be reality? That would be great. 51 I've wanted to be of a use, I state, to do something with what's provided me so that I can contribute to a we. I love that we will work so as a team to build those I-beam monuments which seem a nice design attracting men and women and their families. So then we must, if so our budget works, design the way to allocate this in spare time. For now I know I have a purpose too by finding special guidance here with you. It is my wish. I want to help indeed. And if you say that it is a good deed, then I will now pursue the possible of MOAT. The project which does fit the bill one day in future times when things are best, if what you're saying can our time arrest. Tov Tov Shalom to Billy McBride, unto her human husband, thus replied, That's what I'm saying to you Billy M. That MOAT is something we can do for them. For all who need the MOAT are many ones. First, victims we can help with the MOAT funds. The funds will come from tourists, those who view each MOAT construction built for their eyes too, and for a record of our time right now which will become the past, but to all show who live in future ages what can be when blending art with artful charity. Yes, Billy Mac, it's possible for all. We'll set it up so that they'll get the call to build it when it's time for helping those who need to be much stronger as it grows. 52 Attention in the public eye. Within the project MOAT will be a win-win. Better than a win-win. Even more. A triple win for future times for sure. And ours will build it open on the earth. For those who come shall know of its great worth. Then Angel hoped to Billy McBride, unto her human husband, thus replied, Yes, Billy, MOAT connects to history. We're for an universal health care. See, we want it very badly to be passed in Congress. And we need it so to last. It's just about to make a greater start to help all people with their health in part. And it shall mean big changes in the land for everybody there. But understand that many people now are edgy still. Some like the plan, and others don't. But it will bring more hope for people poor as it our MOAT project can help for more. For universal health care we commit to the idea, and you'll be part of it by getting the MOAT project off the ground to be built on the ground one day, and found by tourists and by also is its fame to be an advertisement by its aim. Then to his angels, Billy McBride, unto his angel wives, he thus replied, Why, yes, I know that MOAT is for the poor, for poor people, and others. It brings more hope to their lives as other useful things. A hope to people poor and rich it brings. What else I know is that to history 53 our MOAT connects. Though it will be, we'll see, beyond a history. It takes the past and gently puts it at our back at last. MOAT seeks to go beyond this worse time where we are at. For better it will climb and stay where all is good. We'll one day say because it works it's win-win-win display. Why help a little when there's more to do? If one can help a lot, we'll do that too. It is a big deal and a project good, and does for many people what it should. The secularity of MOAT is best, though you all help, you angels, with your test on me to bring forth needed thought which plays with ideas, goals and hopes for better ways. Tov Tov Shalom to Billy McBride, unto her human husband, thus replied, Dear Billy, it is time we clean our place. A newer cleaning style you must embrace. For time enough inspection will come soon. A good inspectors coming to each room. Your good apartment, Billy, even more shall be transformed from wall to floor. What's more is that there are some visitors just now as angels coming through your doors. Unseen are Samuel Dr. Johnson here as well as William Hazlitt. To be clear, both are the angels of those critics great. They are here as well to help you in your state. Dear Billy, it's important that you pay attention now as night has turned from day. Those angels and the other students, yes, are dwelling with you now. There is no guess 54 to that. It's true. And now they are here. I need you, Billy, paying much attention. Read your books later. For now we have to clean. Keep going, and you'll know just what we mean. 55 Part 3 And so it turned to night. To Billy M. The gentle angel Hope replied to him, Dear Billy Mac, a bad man has been caught tonight, and what he did he should have not, for he was keeping women trapped inside his home, but now they are freed. We all have cried. It was an awful thing for him to do. They are released from trouble which they knew, and he was finally put in jail to stay perhaps until he dies. There is no way for him to leave for what he did to them, to keep them locked inside, but the system will help them heal as justice will be done. We know you love people and you love fun. And now that they are released from his bad place, their families once again they may embrace. Those women kept inside, now out, will thrive, and once again have fun some days, and live a better way. The man was far behind. Though we hate no one, we do so remind ourselves to bad behavior we're opposed, not people, even if their minds are closed. Next to his angel Hope, her husband cried, unto the angel, Billy Mac replied, How awful that a man did all those things and trapped those women in his home. It brings 56 to mind all sorts of horrors. Yet I dare to think about what happened over there. I understand he's caught. Thank God for that. Tonight has proved a frantic night somewhat. Upon his being caught and put in jail, the women were thus freed from their travail, and they can go back to their families to be again embraced and find some peace. It's good when justice comes and people can trust that a system's there to understand that every now and then our rules work out, and people can find justice. Yes, no doubt. The man I also feel was far behind, and broke the laws, big time, and was unkind to keep those women trapped inside his home before authorities to them did come. I also don't hate people, just those ways when bad behavior's cruel, and it displays. Next Aura to Ferreted cried. That angel Jill to Billy Mac replied, Sweet Billy Mac, I have a good idea. I think you'll like it. Dear Benaviva, ideas are good to try in trying times. This one has much to do with some verse rhymes. And now you have an audience right here besides your angel wives. Let's make it clear and welcome Dr. Samuel Johnson and Hazlitt that their own angels find a place to sit unseen. As Sylvia and Tony, angels dear, are also sitting, watching you make clear your room and other things we talk about from time to time. Each topic in and out. These angel students and the great critics. 57 I want a place for them which you will fix so that my new idea I have works best. It shall be great to do it if they rest. Therefore, please welcome them with open love, and I am sure my new idea will prove to be a good one. Yes, it can't go wrong, and it involves the wiggling of your tongue. To Angel Jill. Next Billy McBride, unto his angel wife, he thus replied, What is it dear? What is your good idea? You have so many. If I could be a good writer, thus and catalogue them all, I would have many books of them to call. Yet, here I am within this happy home where I reside with angel wives alone. And lately this idea of yours to make this place more like a temple I did take. And so the place which my new students see, and why they came to see it beautifully. How everything can be transformed again back to a primal glory, if I train myself to take your good ideas and run with them. They are interesting and fun. So I will take that wisdom with your love, and better my own life with you to prove that I, when following your good advice, do help myself much more, as it proves nice for other people too, as I find out that angels reach beyond myself. No doubt. Then Aura to Ferreted cried, unto her human husband. Jill replied, let's read a little bit from that poem book, the one arranged by Harold Bloom. Let's look 58 and find some poems in it again to read aloud so as to satisfy the need for poetry. A poetry alive on which we all of us do feed and thrive, since like that rabbi said about more life, which comes from more Torah, and from your wife who says that not just Torah makes life rich, but all that literature we read, are rich, to educate delightfully our best in minds within this group of ours, to test the books we read with all experience. They show us life and all its glory, hence we'll read from that good book our favorite lines aloud so as to memorize the rhymes. So don't delay, go get that book and read. Read Edmund Spenser first will be your deed. Prothelymion, that's the poem to hear. Go get that poem and read it, Billy, dear. To Aura, Billy Mac replied, unto his angel wife. Thus Billy cried, dear wife, my angel, angel Jill indeed. I'll find that book upon the shelf to read. Yes, here it is, dear Jill, the one we know, and I shall take the poetry as slow as best I can, just like you asked me to. I love these poems, and reading them with you as Harold Bloom collected, a great bunch. These poems with us do resonate. My hunch is that by memorizing them a help they'll prove whenever looking backward with our love for them, we shall improve each state of mind which once was lacking, further off behind. So this is it, the poem that we will now 59 perform by reading. That I know, but how the poem turns out, the one by Spencer Bold. Prothelymion, it shall be performed. My tongue shall catch the movements of its words, and I will sing its melody like birds. The poem I'll read to you and to myself. We have the time, I'll get it off the shelf. So Billy read the poem unto them all, and they all cheered him on. It was a ball. Tob Schweed next spoke to Billy McBride, unto her human husband. Thus she cried, now, Billy Mac, let's work a little more on your own presentation, on its core, upon the gift your mom gave you of late, that art portfolio. It would be great to use it now. We want you thus to add some recent photographs of art you had made of your paintings and your models best. Let's to the folder add them to the rest. These are the pictures of that art you made, an art which you have done with all our aid. And when you went to Headbuttressia, that planet, and on Earth, Benaviva, you were killed for your art, and there you stayed on Headbuttressia with ghosts who played with you. But then Hashem did bring you back to live before your murder, Billy Mac, so that on Earth you'll be more careful, yes, not to be killed again like that Jesus who copied all your art when he exchanged places with you on that planet changed. Then to Tob Schweed, thus Billy McBride, unto his angel wife, he next replied, 60 all right, Tob Schweed, my sweetest angel dear, I'll add the pictures which we took in here to the portfolio my mom gave me so I can have collected what we see of all our art which once did Jesus make as copies for that place out there to take our art and put it on the walls the same to look. Just like my earth home whence I came to Headbuttressia, the room and place were decorated just the same. No trace of difference was there, and everything. The details of my room did Jesus bring all out identically, and shocked I was to live upon that planet while Jesus did leave it all the same to look the same. I never met him. Had that been my aim I would have thanked him for his troubles there to give attention to its every care, as my own room and art were copied through, when I lived there a while with ghosts and you. Then Aura to Billy cried, unto her human husband. Jill replied, you're wrestling now with poets who are dead, and artists too, about whom you have read. Dear Billy, let us tell you of your name. Not Billy, but Benaviva the same. Benaviva, its meaning now you've earned from all those books from which your readings learned. Benaviva means for you that you read. You will become a scholar. Yes indeed. A special scholar who's a little doll. A little scholar doll, whom we all call Benaviva. A writer too to show 61 a lot of people useful things you know. But most of all, that name will prove to them. You're not a reprobancer, Billy M. But a Benaviva, a good one too. Not bad. You are a bunny boo boo. You. And Angel Jenny's also could have won a new nickname. It's Gooey Cocoon. Hun. So know that wrestling with the mighty dead lifts meaning to your name like yeast to bread. To OOT. Thus Billy McBride, unto his angel wife. He next replied, haha, dear wife, I like that meaning much of my own name Benaviva as such. I thank you, sweetie wife dear. Ahavat. I love you very much, as I've been caught with you romantically in every way. And when I asked Hashem that special day for blessings so that you and Hope, my wives, that we could live in happy married lives. And then the others came. All 30 beings of angels are my wives with unseen rings, as well as my own. At our limit here, no more is such the deal. We made it clear. And now our married team does get along, though upon earth it would be very wrong for many wives for me down here to wed. These are contemporary times instead. And I'm not Solomon. But still you are all angels. And Hashem approved my dare. And I am happy with you. You do prove to me still every day your happy love. Next OOT to Billy McBride. Unto her human husband. Jill replied. 62 Dear Billy. Write it down. Your Hebrew name. Be Navuva in Hebrew as it came. What is a name that you should always know to have yourself called that? What does it show? What is to be Navuva to me? A little scholar doll. I think you see what's in a name. A bunny boo boo. Yes. You're that and more. You do not have to guess, you're not a reprobancer. Billy Mac. But bunny boo boo on a better track. A reprobancer would be very bad to be. Thank heavens. We are very glad that you're not one. Be Navuva, my dear. You're optimistic learning. It's made clear. A little scholar doll. And one that's good. You read your books to learn just as you should. And Dr. Johnson's here with Hazlitt too. And they approve. Yes, they approve of you. So do your students. Tony, Sylvia, and so do we as well. Be Navuva. So Billy wrote the name Be Navuva in Hebrew. And the group of angels saw. Then Angel Hope to Billy McBride unto her human husband thus replied. We want, dear Billy Mac, to work a way in which it is unusual today. On something new is what we wish to work. And over there that diagram does lurk. The diagram's that tree of life picture. The one we call banana tree. We're sure that you should take that diagram and use what all you know with memory to fuse each point upon the diagram and line 63 within your mind. And do it. You'll be fine to meditate its mystical image. It's God in represented form and page. Kabbalists made it as the tree of life. The points are 10, which you and every wife of yours know what they absolutely show. They mean that God is awesome high and low. That means that God is good, which you can tell but not express in easy ways to sell the fact why God's to trust. But beyond that, yourself is called right now to labor at that image, thinking of its vital aim. Why Dr. Johnson, Hazlitt, students came, then to his angel Frickbert, Billy cried, unto his angel wife. He thus replied, why yes, dear Frickbert, Hope, I see the tree of life, its diagram, I see that image there I drew a while ago, of which the endless Godhead it does show, and every point's connected on that page from Keter to Malkut, and I can gauge that of the first 3 on the top to think about them is off limits to the brink. I must not think about them. Nothingness, the crown, Keter, and Hokmah, I don't guess is wisdom, and then Binah, which I know is understanding. These are a no-no to meditate upon, and yet the rest from haste, love, and beauty I am pressed to study with the power, din and hod, that splendor, and the netzer, which is odd because it is the victory of God, but which is not yet ours, and then Yesod, 64 the good foundation ending with Yetzod, respect for the Shekinah, or Malkut, and then those Sephirot are all kaput. Next Angel Hope to Billy McBride, unto her human husband, thus replied, now Billy Mac, I need your trust on this. Now cut the tree of life up with your sis. With your own special scissors make the cuts. That's what they're for. No ifs or ands or buts. Do cut the tree of life. And separate upon the paper all its parts. Don't wait. The parts of nothingness. The crown and wisdom true. From understanding separate them too. Do put your thumb into the scissor hole. And cut across each of the 10. Each hole between the 10. Upon connecting lines make cuts and find the whole of it declines to look a diagram. No tree of life indeed. It's just a pile of shreds you cannot read. Don't worry. Yes, we know you made that art which now we cut up. Every piece and part will be within a pile for you to see. And then you'll understand what's next to be. So trust me. Cut it up. The tree right now. The paper tree of life. You know just how. Then Billy Mac to Angel Hope replied. Unto his angel wife. He, Billy, cried. Dear Hope, I see the scissors over there like to Macbeth. His dagger out of air, but the scissors when they go to work for me, they're harmless, even though they lurk like to Macbeth. His dagger was the way. For me, the scissors. I will sew, you say. 65 I'll use them on the tree of life indeed. And cut it up. That paper I won't read. It's just a pile of shreds now on the floor. I totally destroyed the tree for more to learn. Something of what you say I trust will come as a result. Just like a gust which happens in a sudden way through air when outdoors in some spot where it will tear. As meanings go and winds tear like to us. To catch their meanings like a yellow bus is what we are now working for, of course. To learn if cutting up the tree by scissor force will shed some light upon what we had planned. I did it. It is done to understand. Then Angel Hope to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, thus replied, now that one too, dear Billy, make some shreds, and that one also, yes, cut off the heads of every point and branch upon those trees of life you made, dear Billy, please, you're not a bad person, and you will see by trusting what I say, you do love me, and, yes, we're shredding all our paper stuff which was all made nicely, but it's not tough. You do trust me, your sweetest angel wife, to cut up every paper tree of life. You see that we can do something that's good. I know you don't know what you really should be doing on your own, but we're a team. You must not worry much at all. You seem unto yourself sometimes a helpless man. Boo, we all dwell together. What we can be doing is more good for you and all. 66 Within a better reason. You do fall sometimes, but we do help you on your feet come back with good ideas for all to greet. Next Tob Schweeb to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, thus replied, dear Billy, thank you. Now it's time to take the shreds back up together. They all drape together on the floor. So grab a bunch, and start to tape them back again. Your hunch is that you have, by trusting us, did well. You knew somehow, for you could tell that we were serious about your trust. And now you'll tape together from the dust each branch which fell from every tree of life. You trusted best your dearest angel wife, and so do put them in, to bookmark them, inside your new portfolio. Billy M. along with that bookmark of Shylock too, that character in Shakespeare's drama who did rip the letter up of death entire, the letter by Antonio, like fire, he did make up his mind to get that pound of flesh, though we have better standing ground for doing what we're doing with those trees which symbolize each life. Now do it, please. Then Billy to his loving wife replied, unto his dear Tob Schweeb, Billy cried, yes, I will do just that and tape them all, yes, back into their shapes original, the trees of life, their parts are back again, their rods of branches reconnect, amen. The nexus of the nests fills out once more, that lushness of the leaves, each leafy store. 67 is taped together what my scissors tore like pasting whole the own soft Godhead for a reinvigoration of its meaning. So to see the knowledge gained of trusting you by me, a wisdom to include with trust in good, I knew that doing what I always should would help me understand, my eyes to train that what they see, I know will so contain the treasure like a trunk, the tree of life. It's diagrammed together by my wife whose notion that to tape it whole paid off, and so I knew I would not make a scoff at her, at you, dear Tob Schweeb, my dear, my loving angel, making so much clear. So Billy taped the trees of life he shred, he taped them heeding to those wives he wed, and from the radio there came a buzz, which startled Billy, wondering what it was. Next Aura T, to Billy cried, unto her human husband, she replied, don't worry Billy, what you just did hear your radio did, yes, a buzz, make clear, it's Honeybee, she knows what we all do, that buzz is Honeybee, and was for you, she loves you too, her sweetness does relay her feelings for you on this special day, emotions which have been considered well of both of you, we knowingly can tell how both of you are living in the world below the realm where heaven's clouds are curled, she loves you too, we all do. Keep all good, and you will get the ideas that you should know what we do in heaven. Yes, you care. 68 to have some clue since to us you did dare to ask our hands in marriage. You were framed with us, but in a good way. You aren't blamed for loving what is good. You need to know, in bits and starts of what we sometimes show you of our world of spirit which is true. It's natural knowing us to need a clue. Then Billy to his angel Jill replied, unto his Aura T. Billy cried, oh, Honeybee. It's nice that she is here, emerging in her care, that friendly dear. Around us there are always many beings unseen, and from the radio she sings to remedy my knowledge that she came, that she, and all, are here around with fame. So I am visible, you rest are not, but but that's alright. The way things are, I'm caught up in my interests for you just the same. If you did not speak with me, I would aim just for this human realm, which is alright for others, but I'm happy with your light from heaven, and from God with angels true. What's not to love, to care about with you? And if you never talked to me, I'd say that this, our world is such the only way to know most things about it undivine. Yet with some knowledge of you, I am fine. I understand the risk involved with you, that many do not understand your true. Next OOT to Billy Mac replied, unto her own dear husband. Thus Jill cried, and now it's time to clean again this place. Inspections coming soon. So you must race 69 against the clock to make your rooms look best, and after all your cleaning can you rest? But you're alert, you've got the energy, you want to clean this place for sure. I see. Apartments like this one get messy fast, especially if art you find a blast, and messy up the rooms with painting stuff which we all like, though others find it rough like Tony who was telling you to clear the wall to make it less a mess, my dear, but it's just right, and yet the rooms around are cluttered with some stuff upon the ground. There's other stuff to which you must attend like piles of things you're getting set to send away since most these things you do not use, so we will get it straight, and you can choose to activate us all within your soul to help you clean for that inspection's goal. 70 Part 4 Next Angel Hope to Billy Mac McBride, unto her human husband, thus replied, Dear Billy Mac, because this night is great, and since it's peaceful, there will come of late a newness since it's time to clean all night. Dear Billy, from a special heaven and its light tonight by channeling an open way there's Dr. Angel Samuel Johnson. Yay, to help you clean by rhyming what you'll do, and Dr. Johnson came because of you to your own room. A place of special grace this all-important night to your own place. He wants to show you what to do with it because it's messy. Things will mostly fit in special spots. The place will look its best, and as he talks he'll rhyme to you. We'll test your memory of what to do with things around you as you clean. This nighttime brings into your heart a peace because a plan will aid you in your cleaning. You're a man on earth who's helped by many beings. It's pretty neat. Now go and clean your things. Then to his angel Hope, her Billy cried. 71 Unto his greater angel, thus replied, For sure, dear Hope, your help is very good. A help of yours and other beings now would, yes, hit the spot while cleaning up my rooms in this own good apartment with my brooms, and on the floor with them I'll take a start to clean as in a special kind of art performance since it's entertaining. Yes, to have some fun with work. I do not guess that is what is needed on this night. This all-important night upon our site where what's to do will surface with a plan with help from Angel Dr. Sam Johnson who came for me. It's good to know he's here, a man I deeply value, and it's clear that by his help, my place will look its best upon this night. Tonight, I'll clean, not rest. I have in mind some special kinds of acts by which I'll use to organize the facts of which around are facts as objects now presenting of themselves to me their show. Next Angel Samuel Johnson thus replied, to Billy Mac his friend. The doctor cried, Tonight I'm here to come to help you out since the great day of King Henry's about. King Henry 10th. I'm here to clean and rhyme with grace with you so move in cues on time. Take note of all I'm saying to you now, and as I march with words, I'll show you how to get this place all better with the beat from which my simple rhymes your ears do greet. Stay moving like a dance upon the drum, and pick things up accordingly so some 72 can be put in a better place like there. My poems which I speak to you in the air will guide you with their beat and message clear to move some things from yonder distance here. I called this day a special one, for sure. It's Henry King the 10th. And there is more for you to learn as you shall soon believe that on this day. Now night into the eve what's happening to you is a great change for you because you're home we're to arrange. Then Starry Hope to Billy Mac McBride, his angel wife and helper thus replied, Dear Billy, yonder poems will make you doubt when they all cloud your sense as if you're out. And so, as timely challenges, they're good, but in another chilliness of mood you'll see, if lost, that also poems are bad. So you must have opinions which will add to fighting with them in a struggle. Yes, when they all separate so from your guess, and you reign certain, yes they'll all be great, those poems which you will fight but do not hate. Yet, if you lose, you will come to a lurk, and fall behind. That falling is not work which should concern your battle with the verse. You will have answers in your turn, of course. Within your area you'll need some space to be unique with no opined face. You'll make no stupid slips, Not one you'll write. In fact, your life will not be lost tonight, as your own aid will come and overcome. And you will be the new poem in your home. Then Ora to Ferreted cried. 73 Unto her indie husband thus replied. Dear Billy Bunny Boo Boo McBride, I've answer to your struggles here inside. A childlike moment this is yours of late. You have to have a Gnostic question great. It is of course rhetorically built, because for Gnostics all the questions willed. You already can answer it, just ask. It stands to be angelic as a task. So this, the saga, you don't have to wait. The question is a vestal sort of bait. Just act. More contemplation brings you down. To contemplate will fling you underground. At least you do not wish to be a child who fails this meaning of a knowing wild. What frick but secret is will be revealed. You know so much, but our own lips are sealed. Because in happiness you will perform those acts which reign us in inside your form to work in freedom as a team who or whatever blocks the goodness now in store. Next angel hope to Billy McBride. Unto her human husband thus replied. Yes, Billy, now what is it there you see before your body? Closer yet to thee, a vision of an object, and within that object of its meaning now begin to think about that thing before your eyes, and touch it. Yes, your hand begins to rise unto its shape. Now let it become held. Upon it all our eyes from heaven weld. Our eyes which always watch all that you do. Our eyes which on our faces number 274, but seeing all around know all to know, as to our eyes from heaven all does show. And, though we know it all as angels do, by being good, we'll also share with you what can be known at times. What we allow, there is no need for you to make a bow. But just consider that we can such inspire for greater better help that you aspire to think of heaven. What we do up here, and know and understand as it's made clear. So before Billy Mac upon the shelf was a large cutting knife beyond himself. And, thus the husband to each angel wife he knew, whom Billy thought best for his life. To them he said, by thinking with his mind, the object which he saw that he did find. Is this a dagger laying before me, and this its handle placed for me to see? Or is it something I imagined there, a vision coming to me out of air? I know I talk to angels. They are facts, and, talking with them, loving them, these acts are a behavior no one else can guess. My mind is not a total ugly mess, but there are people all around who think I made the angels up with pen and ink. And there are some who think that angels are just the delusions of a show-off star as well, because these angels which he claims have been invisible have made up names. Though these fighters of the angel beings who say there's no such creature with the wings upon a human body. Yet I know 75 that you within me and in heaven show you're in both worlds, our earth and heaven high, where we become such angels when we die. Then angel hope to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, she replied, yes, Billy, you, by quoting from Macbeth, are bringing up the issue breath by breath. By doing that, pretending, there's a way you'll find in your apartment on today, a path by letting us and Shakespeare guide. You'll be much better, Billy McBride. Don't worry that nobody thinks us real, and even if they did, what would that heal? Instead just let it be, and follow us. We are in charge on this eternal bus. And, so we'll help you out and others out, as everything's in order without doubt. You're fine to give us credit separately for what we do within your world gently, but it's the case that others cannot learn unless they each have angels. They won't earn an understanding yet of us or what's to come of goodness we can do. But as there's some of goodness, that you already can tell, and now we'll clean this place to make all well. Then Tov shalom to Billy cried. Thus angel Tov unto her friend replied, let's play with water while we clean this place. For now we're using just a little trace, but fill some cups and trays with water, please. For now's the time to do our magic teas, a hydromancy for the neighborhood whereby the water's draining down. Made good 76 with prayers we say to bless the water stuff, we'll change its molecules to smooth the rough. With water prayers we'll send our thoughts up high unto our God, as down below we'll vie to put back in the water system it. The water being blessed will rightly fit as people drink it. They will be their best. Fill all the cups to drain. Fill up the rest, as we shall by this day affect our plan to help out people, ladies and each man by water prayers said just at the right time. Our secrets out upon the world will chime, and people who drink from the water's source will become greater without using force. Then angel Jennifer to Billy cried. She to her loving husband thus replied, yes, Billy M. Put on some music now. Our music is a prayer by us and out to God to help us bless this water here. That it put back into the system near, can help the people all around improve. Put on that music, dance around and move your body which is made of water too, and dance when doing water praying true. We all of us love you. You know your work and ours will help those others who would lurk in their own stagnate ways begin to groove. By praying over water you will prove our powers and unto the world will set diviner power out. The world will get much better with our awesome music too because it helps to change with water you as now your molecules within your body act 77 upon a greater cause, a human fact, of which all humankind must know our good when happiness results from music as it should. Then Tov shalom to Billy cried, unto her human husband, thus replied, remember when you told us it would be so awesome if you made for charity $100 every newer move you make inventing dancing to some groove on YouTube? Well, tonight's the very night. Yes, Billy there, you're dancing in the light, and pulling off some moves that are so new, and each one brings $100. True. So every new invented step and change you make while cleaning up to rearrange your place when dancing to our music made by us, you earn and clean and bring an aid. The place, yes here, is getting better yet, and better too are you as you will get us in a better shape to do more good by being most creative as you should. And, there, another $100. Yay, your dances bring the cash to us today, so keep on grooving, give it all you've got. Within a money zone now you've been caught now Angel Hope to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, thus replied, yay, Billy, that's 100 more right there, your dancing steps do earn it as you dare more money, yes, with every move you make, $100 each, for goodness sake, with every new move, newness is the key, your graceful dancing is that fresh to see 78 and, as you dance and move around some things, 100 more your super dancing brings, for every new invention you do claim, the prize for having made an artful aim, you pick things up around you when you dance of water cups, and objects in your trance, and while you dance, you pray for charity, and blessed before that water is set free. The water is the element we use to make a change as drinking it ensues by other neighbors all around who brood. The secret holy water will do good, and doing everything with joy and pride for helping others, helps the world abide. Then Ora to Ferreted cried unto her husband, Billy McBride, you're rocking now the boat, and having fun, a good clean fun with MOAT, and MOAT's a part of this as well, indeed, for as you dance they watch your moves and read them like a book. Original and great. You rock the book, the boat. Your body's state is here right now to dance for MOAT and fun. And raise some funds for charity. A ton. Much money comes from YouTube. Sponsors see you dancing there for MOAT and charity. The waters which you drain as you do move in ways which are amazing show your love. For draining the blessed waters through the pipes brings instant aid to many people's gripes. You're rocking it. Benaviva. Right on. You step as if in perfect unison with us as we all guide your feet around 79 and place them in new places on the ground. So keep this channel rocking, and you'll know that you're the star with your own YouTube show. Next Angel Jennifer to Billy cried. Unto her human husband she replied, now get some wine and coffee and some tea. We're gonna have some fun. Yes you will see. And in the bottle of the wine now mix some coffee and some tea for magic tricks. But not just magic tricks we'll do, but more, and mix the liquids up, so as to pour them in a cup to make a medicine, for you'll not only have your fun begin but also you can be a healing nurse that many may get better who are worse. So follow us and mix the cabernet up with the coffee doing as we say, then mix the herbal tea with coffee now, and then the cabernet more, yes, that's how. So you by doing that can make a cure which you will blend together with a stir, and now the cabernet with all that stuff can become drained. Yes, it is not that tough. You're doing great. Now drain it down your sink which goes to other pipes. You've made the link. Then Billy Mac unto his angels cried, unto each loving wife of his, replied, now it is going great. This bottle here of empty wine and all has yet to clear completely for there are a few drops still which I will keep and add some ice to chill, with extra water. Now I'll stir it up inside a pan instead of in a cup 80 and from this second mixture I shall sip a little for myself and then I'll drip a little down my bathroom sink and then I'll keep the rest. Now dancing through my den to music which we made on the keyboard, which when we were inspired, we did record. I'll stir the rest up with the kitchen knife, the cutting knife I see, and every wife I have, this 30, I love you so much. It really is a joy to play as such. Who knows, but you and God, I do some good by playing here, by doing what I should. Now, everything is changing for the best. I'm passing every sort of angel test. Then Angel Jennifer to Billy cried, unto her loving husband. She replied, Dear Billy, that is medicine you made, and it can prove a very helpful aid. A special medicine to treat an ill which upon earth has been a problem still. I want you now to find out what it is by understanding of your artworks. Those abstract paintings hanging on your wall which you constructed with us after all. Of them it should be obvious that they were really made for you for this here day. I want you now to look at them with love. The reason why they are there soon they will prove. By painting them abstractly over days, what they now symbolize are grand X-rays of those with bodies here upon the earth. And study every one for what it's worth. Upon the wall you see that they are not well. 81 The people on the earth aren't spiritual enough, nor do they read their very best. So look around the X-rays. That's the test. To Jennifer thus Billy McBride, unto his loving wife, he thus replied, I know, I'm gonna help some people out. I see the X-rays. What they mean, no doubt. The problems, schizophrenia and AIDS and rape and cancer, all in different grades. For victims of those problems men share. That's why we need a universal care for health. And Congress is debating it right now. But I do not in Congress sit. It's out of my own hands. But still I can do what I can from here to work a plan which, doing so, may end up very good, and bringing help to people, as it would, by playing and performing with the art around me is a certain kind of start by which, you say, in some way proves an aid, by looking at that X-ray art I made. To study by its look how people are, the art will guide solutions like a star. So I will thus continue with my sight, and study, hot and cold, the X-ray light. Then Angel Jennifer to Billy cried, unto her loving husband. She replied, Your mousy, that stuffed animal up there upon the shelf is sick. I know you care. Now put that medicine by him as such. He's mousy, your first toy you love so much. And next, I want that clock upon the wall. So put the clock up there, and stand up tall. 82 And as you do that you are moving great. You're moving without stopping, though it's late. And every move you make deliberately you see and know has purpose totally. You're graceful in your dancing, making clean the area within your rooms to mean much as with every movement that you do. It makes completely sense to us and you. And Mousy will get better. You will work around this place symbolically and lurk between each room to straighten up this place. For it is crucial that your dance steps trace a pattern to each motion of your feet when, of your graceful hands, they objects meet. Then Angel Hope to Billy McBride, unto her human husband. She replied, And now you are a Stayfriends doctor. Yay, you're now in heaven. Made it here today, and it's an afterlife called Stayfriends here where you have come to help the way to clear for universal health care upon earth. It has importance of the greatest worth for us, but also in this afterlife where you are with each loving angel wife. We'll help convince that Congress passing it by special means, as our demands see fit into a bill which all the world can see that it will help out each community. We're making our demands from heaven high, and for those critics who would question why we want to help stop cruelties of pain, and stop humiliations from their gain, to answer them is pointless. We just act. 83 We need not give our reasons. That's a fact. For why we act to help each human out. We act upon the cause, not on their doubt. Now Billy Mac unto his angel wife. To Hope he spoke of his new afterlife. I know. It's awesome now I made it here within this heaven called Stayfriends. My dear, I truly realize now how blessed I am. Baruch Hashem, the Lord of Abraham, and Isaac, Jacob and the Lord of all. Baruch for all your help when I was then on earth. And thank you for your love. Amen. Dear Angel Hope and all, I'm grateful too for all your help in setting me with you. It truly was awesome to dance and play while you were watching, guiding me this way. Now that the day of Henry number 10 did change to heaven, Stayfriends, in my den, I'll use my YouTube channel to broadcast with all our music the demands we ask to help the world pass universal care, and from the great attention which is there, I hope to, as a Stayfriends doctor, save some fun for those who need it, like I have. The angel Hope unto her husband cried, to Billy Mac. The angel thus replied, Oh Billy, can you guess? No need, I'll tell you. Billy, are the angel Gabriel, the archangel. Yes Gabriel, you know, you've got the power. You've revealed your show. Oh Billy, there are hundreds watching you. You clean while in this place you're dancing through. Oh Billy, everybody in some way 84 is watching you. Your family all the day, and every friend and stranger too have watch upon your every move so that they catch an understanding of your angel power. They are watching, like we do, upon this hour. This is important, Billy. You are he, the archangel called Gabriel. Yippee. And we will rock the place and do what's best as you, and we within you. Pass the test of other people to know that, for heaven is the kingdom where you're at, and this true heaven, Stayfriends is your home, and you to it have finally now come. Then Angel Jill to Billy McBride, unto her awesome husband, thus replied, now spray for bugs right there, yes, in that crack, good, they fell out and died upon their back. I know you hate to kill the little bugs, it's also time for folk to get off drugs. By mesmerizing those who watch you move, you'll partly be hypnotic as you groove, and they will watch you step by step relate how they, within your story, on this date, can be helped from addictions which they have because some people care on earth to save them from addiction, which can prove a harm. Some medical people can calm each arm which addicts bruised with needles getting high on heroin or crack or ecstasy, those drugs and other drugs which riddle them. To be a role model, dear Billy M. Now that you're Gabriel the angel man, within the heaven of Stayfriends, you can 85 assist the doctors on the earth, and all who work in health care to prevent their fall. Next Angel Hope to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, she replied, dear Billy, get a little dirty please, this is not yet the time for your own ease, such as inspection of the housing group will come this week, you must not play the dupe, but stay awake and keep inventing still your own original steps by your will, and dance because you're cleaning while inspired, the night's not done, to glory you've aspired, now wash behind the sink where there is grime as well within your microwave the slime, but do it in a graceful unique way to gain more funds for charity today, and you will prove to sponsors watching you, as they are now, right now, by YouTube view, that you are not afraid of any dust, nor grime, nor slime, nor dirt, nor bugs, nor rust. The dirtier you get, the better yet, it's only temporary, yes, you bet. Your dirty hands and fingers can be washed, and all the scrubbing towels, they will be trashed. Then Angel Jill to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, thus replied, fill up those trash bags, Billy Gabriel, fill up them all the way. This is your Jill. The heavier and fuller that they are, the more you are an useful YouTube star, the more the bags fill up. The more is made since every bag you fill is for some aid from trash. It makes for charity a stash. 86 The sponsors see and count the bags of trash. The more you dance and move and keep in time unto our music's beat, the more you climb up in respect of all who watch you move because they know that it is done with love. A love from not just any kind of being, but yours, as you are Gabriel dancing, and nobody did know of it till now. So now your secret's out, we'll show them how to help each other out as they watch you as we and you narrate with much ado the meaning of some purpose why they are here as reading all your moves will make that clear. And to his angels, Billy Mac replied, unto those angels whom he married, cried, now I will put the painting of the nurse Elaine, our angel, where it has been worse. I'll put the painting of her by the art, that war and peace painting so that she start to look after the sick ones symbolized shown by those X-rays which I realized their meanings, that the abstract art X-rays do represent the illness of today's, where rearranging my own place to match the sicker objects, which we are to catch, with healthy objects which are medicine, that is our job, to pair those objects then. That over time the medicine will work affecting by its power that does lurk within the healing objects in the room. I'll rearrange it perfectly. Our home to be just like a happy hospital where people can be comforted and heal 87 if that they can. Now up her painting goes where war and peace, that sicker artwork shows. Then Angel Jill to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, thus replied, good job, dear Billy Angel Gabriel, you're doing great, and this is going well. As with our help cooperating best, you're a great Stayfriends doctor, as you guessed, and, here in heaven, Stayfriends is this place, upon a very special path you trace your steps, we guide them better than before, you're not on earth, you know, and there is more, in Stayfriends heaven you are doing great, it's only been one day, but what a date, and you've been dancing, playing all the night, and it will very soon become daylight. The dawn is coming. You are almost done with cleaning for the housing inspection. Soon will the sun come up to greet the world which you are on, wherein you have been hurled. Upon this date, you've done a special thing when dancing to the beat, by listening to our own music we recorded then for YouTube. For this day and for heaven. 88 Part 5. So Billy put the angel nurse Elaine, her painting, by the War and Peace, with pain. For Billy, he'd been dancing all the night, and Angel Jill spoke to him of his fight. Dear Billy, you are struggling with the dead, those mighty poets now whom you have read. You're struggling now for space and fighting them because they are your precursors. Billy M. There is a central poem where you are in, and it contains you now, as you have been here reading all your moves and active play, and some of the best poets wrote this way as you are in a central poem right now. We all of us will fight it. This is how. You see that model on the ground you made with great detail to build it. We did aid your interest thus to make it as a dare. It is your model of a skyscraper. A special model you've worked hard to build. It was what your imagination filled. A careful plan of effort which was blessed. It's on the floor. Upon the floor it's pressed. It's one of your achievements of design. 89 Look at that model for, by God, a sign. Then Billy to his angel Jill replied, unto his loving angel wife. He cried, yes Jill, I see it over on the floor. I put it there, you know, so as to store it somewhere where it might look interesting. The model of the skyscraper you bring to my attention. Yes, I'll look at it. My eyes unto its detailed shape will fit. My eyes unto its complex forms will stare. That skyscraper, a model and a dare. It was a challenge for me to be made. It took a while, but with your gentle aid one day I finished it. What's this you say? That there's a sign from God, some kind of ray, or other sort of miracle right now upon or with that model which he'll show? All right, I'm looking at it now to see just what you mean. A sign? Some sort of key? I'm already in Stayfriends. That's a fact. But what else is there to behold as act? A sign from God on that skyscraper form. I am now waiting for it to inform. Then Angel Jill to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, she replied, I know you like that model, but it's bad. It has to be thrown out. Please don't be mad. By listening to us now again you'll see. God's sign is that it is a great mystery. The sign is your confusion over why we're asking you, dear Billy Mac, to try and understand that we don't want that thing inside this place. It'll be a great blessing 90 for you to sacrifice and throw it out with all the trash which you've made here. No doubt. That thing. It signifies a lack of trust as long as it is here. Now it's a must that you trust us to throw it hence away, and put it in the trash bags. Don't delay. Just think that it's an error, a mistake, a lesson and a sacrifice to make. It will be good. Now hurry up. Go there and let it be tossed out without a care. Think of it as a bad thing to keep here in the apartment. Nothing is to fear. Then Billy Mac unto his wife replied, to Angel Jill. The angel man thus cried, okay, as this, my skyscraper is bad, and as it signifies a mess I had, a mess which once throughout my life did make me so confused, I'll toss it for that sake, and as it symbolizes all distrust I once had growing up, it is a must that it shall be thrown out with all the trash. It represents my lifelong wounded gash of everything which once confused poor me. It is the sign of the great mystery, but there's no mystery, it is no more. That skyscraper which sits upon the floor is everything before which was unclear to me. All mystery, confusion drear, and nevermore will I have such a doubt to what is good since all the secret's out. Now that I know, that sign will be disposed. I'm glad to throw the mystery out. Case closed. So here I go. And with my foot I smash 91 the skyscraper, and throw it in the trash. And so, with a great crunch the model fell under the foot of Angel Gabriel, of Stayfriends Dr. Billy McBride, and unto him, his angel Jill replied, it is as if you are a Jacob still, who wrestled the anonymous angel. It is because you're trying very much to get others off dopey drugs and such, and teach them how to read and why, their way, and so it's hard for you as well to say to them it would be better if they tried to listen to you. Billy McBride, you're wrestling, and the only thing you feel that's hard is your own soreness in your heel since dancing all the night in play and fun has taken now its toll on everyone. You're still a better help than none at all, and helping them know others they can call will give them comfort going through withdrawal as they may throw away the drugs we saw. By teaching others helping them to read your moves and books on YouTube. Some are freed to trust, by your examples, in the care that universal health cares for them there. Next Billy Mac unto his angel cried, to Angel Jill, her loving friend replied, they all can hear us talk. Dear Angel Jill, I know they understand us even still we've all been talking. At it, you're in me, my angels hidden from their world to see. Of what we're saying and of what we've done to start again an honest good clean fun 92 I'm grateful for your help all night to show the world that I can clean up so they know that having good clean fun while doing work, from room to room and with a graceful lurk, will change things for the better, though I'm sore from all that dancing, that is what is sure. But nonetheless this place is looking good. The water blessings did all that they could as we collected much attention here, beginning with each water blessing prayer. And now that family, friends and strangers look, they can with Stayfriends read it like a book. And Jill, I wish to thank you and the rest for all your angel help. You are the best. Next Angel Jill to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, she replied, I know, by cleaning for the inspection, you are performing miracles to some. And you indeed know how to move around, and what to do with feet upon the ground, and what to do with hands and arms and head, and you know where to put things, being led around the room by us so that they mean much to your audience when you do clean. The things of course have special meanings too as you do prove to all of us and you. They all have special meanings to make well the fact that you are Angel Gabriel, the Archangel of Gabriel you are, and now you've come to be a YouTube star. Whereas you're doing work from heaven here in Stayfriends as an angel doctor seer, you must have yet some clue that we are great. 93 You must know that what we are doing's fate. It was to be. Just add up all the facts, the sum of which is good made good by acts. Then Angel Billy Gabriel McBride, unto his angel Jill, he thus replied, I know all that. These miracles make clear what I have known before, that you are here, sweet angels, dears, within my breast alive, with your own sweet companionship I thrive. When you first came to me before we wed, I wanted to save you from feeling dread. Back then when I did think I channeled you not as high angels, but as humans who within the neighborhood, I thought did sell themselves as prostitutes. I could not tell that, in that channel, you were in disguise, and really were from heaven, angels wise. I wanted then to save you from that life. I married you for sure, each channeled wife. I thought by doing so, I'd find a way to get you out of that cruel poverty of prostitution where I thought some man, a pimp was drugging you by his own plan, and you were trapped within the doors for men. But you came clean. I married angels then now Angel Jill to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, thus replied, those memories are good thereof to say, but we must need be focused on this day, this way you're cleaning up, with grace and speed, our MOAT project the same does need, and you must work on MOAT like here tonight, on it to make a coming future bright 94 and so to recap what the project is, the monumental O around Texas, the O stands for outrageousness, for sure, for every seat, 254, there lies a county where we wish to build a public tourist place that's friendly filled with I-beam monuments of public art, it will be secular from its own start, and with all funds from visitors who pay the businesses around MOAT, or some way, the money all will go to charity to help some victims be and feel more free from schizophrenia, and rape, and AIDS, and cancer, for the MOAT can fight what raids the body which is prone to these bad things. A help for charities is what MOAT brings. Then Billy Mac unto his angel cried, to Angel Jill, her husband thus replied, I want to do the MOAT project like this especially with an outrageousness because there are some things like Facebook now, which is a nice place where our MOAT could show in pictures and with words. Yes, MOAT is good. I want it very badly since MOAT could be just the project which can help a lot of people. Why not help it to be God? It is a good idea to plan and prove its power to do good by spreading love. I don't like schizophrenia on earth. It shouldn't be there said. For what it's worth. I don't like cancer either. It is bad. A treatment or a cure is to be had someday with many funds for charities. 95 which MOAT as well could help. And help some ease. And neither do I like that AIDS goes on. There must be found a cure to get it gone. And rape is something which still happens yet. Some money for solutions MOAT could get. Then Angel Jill to Billy McBride, unto her loving husband, she replied, yes, doing money-making moves helps find that sponsors for your MOAT project do mind. Your moves can be best here to help fundraise, and with the earnings from these moves we praise, they'll be just what we need to get MOAT done. So keep on dancing, when it's time. Alone. You look alone, yet all of us here know that guiding all your body's movements show your audience that angels are within. Your moves do help our great project begin. This is a cause for celebration yet. You'll need recuperation so to get back energies which, dancing through the night, did lose, but it did gain us great delight. Your money-making moves, your sublime dance, the way the place looks now, as from a trance, the hot and cold objects you paired to match, those medicines you gave in your watch catch, the broadcast of it all, the sponsors see and take to heart your cause for charity. Then Billy McBride to Jill replied, to Angel Jill, his loving wife, he cried, I know, it's all a project good, and we have planned today the best we could. I know how things are now, and I will sit down now because I'm tired. My soul will fit 96 into a chair this morning, and calm down from all activity in my renown. The morning's come, its shine does make me glad. I got exhausted, it's a little bad the way I feel here sitting in this shine around this new apartment place of mine whose rooms do dazzle with a hopeful glow. It looks a happy hospital, I know, and all that work and play did take a toll upon my body here, yet I feel royal. The sun has come, I've wrestled through the night, and all is still and shining, it is bright. From head to toe I ache, I'll need relief to come to my own painful body's grief. Somehow I knew tonight would end this way before the sun came out to turn it day. Now Angel hoped to Billy Mac replied, unto her weary husband, thus she cried, that trash, oh Billy Mac, that trash is your pain. Look at those bags wherein the trash is lain, at every one. Now look upon this home, the home is perfect, but the trash is dumb. The place looks beautiful, the bags do not, as now your home except those bags have got a glowing health. If you look very close at it and then the bags of trash, it goes to strike a contrast between health and ill, for pain is all that trash which you did fill, the towels you used when cleaning up the sink, the objects which we asked you toss, not think about their value. Trash does represent your aching body thus, as it is meant, and most of all that greatest mystery 97 which was your own confusion, now made free and clear when you destroyed the skyscraper, that model which we worked on in paper, it's all been torn apart, now in those bags, the trash is pain symbolic, you it tags. Then Angel Jill to Billy McBride, unto her hurting husband, thus replied, we want you to take out all of the trash, and put it in the dumpster, in its stash, before you go to sleep, we want it gone. Once it is thrown away, you may sleep on, because that trash does represent your pain, the total of your pain within you lain. We know it's best that it must be disposed right now, before you sleep. The case is closed upon your work and play. Before you rest just take some time out. This is not a test. And yes, the cold front blew in and there's ice outside. And yes, the weather is not nice. It's drizzling and it's yucky there outside. And you are tired. Dear Billy McBride, of all your pains, they hurt. You're getting mad that pain exists in every world you had. But know you can do something very great as you take pain away. The pain you hate. It's time. I know. Your pain experience against is what you'll fight in your defense. Then Angel Kelly thus to Billy cried, unto her hurting husband. She replied, yes, Billy dear. Some of the night last night when you thought you were getting ultra bright, when you thought you were channeling Hashem, it really wasn't him. Sweet Billy M. 98, it was just me pretending I was God. And even so, by doing what felt odd, I helped you on with motivation high, but not that high. Yet look around, don't cry, we know you are in pain. Look at the trash, as Angel Jill remarked. Within that stash it represents the total of your pain, not just from dancing last night, but the main point is that that is pain from all your life. Thus listen now to me, your angel wife, and get your butt up now to throw it out. You have the strength and courage, without doubt, to next achieve your greatest evermore. For with those bags in hand open the door, and walk into the cold with great intent to rid the world of pain. That's why you're sent. Then Angel Jill unto her husband cried, to Billy Mac. The angel thus replied, yes, Billy, why now wait to find the cures? Yes, you are Gabriel. Your heart now stirs. Now outside with that first bag. Throw it out. You just cured AIDS symbolically, no doubt. Now outside with that second bag. Now toss. With it, you just cured cancer, by the loss of it into the dumpster. Way to go. In it was your skyscraper, as you know. And finally, while we are cheering you, we all, Tob Shbeeb and Hope and all our crew, there's one more bag symbolically that's bad. The final one which makes you very mad. Now throw it up and in. Benaviva, you have now just cured schizophrenia. You did it as an angel. Billy Mac 99, your angel Gabriel. And you attack all pains to cure them best in this ice rain. You're helping the whole world to stop their pain. You just cured AIDS and cancer. Hip hooray. And schizophrenia. You saved the day. Then Angel Hope to Billy Mac replied, unto her loving husband. Thus she cried, yes, Billy the bad crewman all around this neighborhood and all around the town. This icy morning watched you as you threw those many bags of trash out. They love you. For as they saw you in the cold they felt a pity that had meaning as it dwelt in their hearts too. Of each, they were each one who visited the prostitute for fun. With courage you are teaching them to change, since your apartment home you did arrange to be a sacred place. A temple here. They saw you crying in the cold and drear when you were throwing out those bags of art. They know in mystic ways, you have a heart as you triumphed outside, and as you cried with tears to music. Billy Mac McBride, we thought that you were being very brave to conquer what you did, as you did save that project and that cleanup for this day in Stayfriends heaven, in the cold, that way. Then Angel Jill to Billy Mac McBride, unto her loving husband, she replied, I'm proud of you, we all are, Billy M. And all of us for this. We thank Hashem. We realize just how difficult that was to get out in the cold. It really does 100 make all the difference now to us and all, for you are doing great. A role model. I knew that you could do all this tonight. It was mostly an honor and delight to move yourself upon the music's beat. To dance all night. Not sitting on a seat, but moving back and forth and making right the order of your rooms by our insight. We all of us are proud. So get some rest. You've earned it. Let your gentle head be pressed upon the pillow. Hope will talk to you before you fall asleep. Your angels true all love you. Listen carefully to her. She needs to tell you something, as it were, about what happened here, upon this day. Lay down and hear what Hopi has to say. Then Angel Hope to Billy Mac McBride, unto her human husband, she replied, Dear Billy, I love you. We all did this to energize you that you clean your mess because inspection soon. We thought best that we would play with you to pass that test. So everything we did was just pretend to motivate your cleaning in the end. But honestly you did have just a taste of what it's like within that heaven placed. For Stayfriends is a heaven for a few, who after dying go there, and they do the things you did tonight as you did play. They will themselves be angels as they stay in Stayfriends heaven. But you must recall it's not Stayfriends where you go after all. As we told you before, up here with us 101 you'll live in the great heaven of charades. But still you cleaned up well and still you got to clean. For Hashem's sculpture as you ought. The closet out. A tabernacle same. In Stayfriends. William Shakespeare is your name. 102 Finis 103.